Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jen. How you doing today?
It is a good morning for me. I don't know about you.
Maybe for the guy across the table.
It's going to be a better Friday morning.
I know what you did. I know about all your voodoo curses you put on my players, all your reverse jinxes that you inflict upon my team. I know you've got a Dak voodoo doll that you keep up in your mansion up in Bel Air. And you just stick those pins in the shoulder and in the index finger and then over the left wrist. Yeah. Got it all. Way to go. Congratulations, Shannon Sharpe. You did it again.
I ain't doing anything. I'm just minding my own business.
Yeah.
Minding your own business. That's just what you do, right?
That's it.
Yeah, never. All right, we have an absolutely packed show today. Will LeBron dethrone reigning MVP Giannis tonight in Milwaukee? And is Tom Brady finally facing a challenge he just simply can't overcome? But first, we do have to talk about the latest with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. The Dallas QB was limited in practice yesterday due to a right shoulder injury he suffered in the first half of the Rams game. In that game, Dak was also dealing with a finger injury that had conflicting reports on its severity. With the shoulder news, the Cowboys have become slightly less favored, but what's more worrisome for the league's second leading passer is what Jason Garrett and Ezekiel Elliott had to say about Dak's injury. Take a listen.
It's hard for him to function right now, so don't anticipate him throwing much in practice today.
Dak's going to play. I think he's just resting up, make sure everything is as right as it can be by game time. Dealt with some AC joints, and it's tough. I couldn't imagine having to throw with it. So, but I know Dak. I know his toughness.
Well, Shannon, is Dak's shoulder injury a big deal or no big deal?
Well, I think the deal is the Cowboys are making it a bigger deal than what it needs to be.
Okay.
Skip, the one thing that, teams try to hide injuries. And, the NFL made teams started listing it when a player's injured. But normally they're vague. Leg. Could be his knee, could be his hip, could be a quad, could be his ankle, his toe, or something, foot. But they just say leg because they don't want you to focus in. The last thing you want a team to know is that my quarterback shoulder is injured. Because now I'm going to do everything I possibly can, Skip, to try to put you on it. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to try to hit you on that shoulder. Thank you for telling me. Injured here, injured here, injured here. Skip, look, I think this is because the Cowboys are feeling the pressure. The Cowboys are favored on the road against a division rival. They are the better team considering all the injuries that the Eagles have faced. Greg Ward Jr. is the guy, one of the guys they rely heavily on. He was a practice squad guy at the start of the season. Boston Scott, another guy that they count on to contribute heavily. He was a practice squad guy. So you're down Deshaun, you're down D-Jack, you're down Alshon. You're counting on guys that you weren't counting on at the start of the season. The Cowboys come off their most impressive performance to date. Over a winning team. Hung 44, rushed for 240 plus. Dak didn't throw often, but he was very efficient when he did throw. Skip, you know the Cowboys. That's what Vegas said. Vegas said Cowboys are favored. But now what the Cowboys are trying to do, Jenny said up for the okie doke. Well, Dak is injured, and if something doesn't go our way, it was because Dak is injured. No, we're not buying that. Put some medicine in it, because I can assure you know what? If I'm an owner of a football team and my players are not sore, if they don't have bumps and bruises, I need to fire some people. Because it's week 16, and it's a long season. You've been going at this since late July, and here we are in December. So if you're not sore, I need to know why. Well, explains you're 7-7 because you're probably not as sore. You probably should be even sore. Skip, there are plenty of quarterbacks that's dealing with issues. But I think the thing is for me, is that why am I finding out about this? You don't normally disclose, especially a quarterback in the shoulder. You definitely try to keep that under wraps because you don't want people trying to target. Quarterback already has a target on his back. He's the quarterback. People consider him the head of the snake. What do? You chop the head off, you kill the snake. Well, you just told your head, told the opposing team that the head of your snake is injured. And you pinpointed and put a big old target on and say, this is where its injury is located. So, Skip, the Cowboys are playing this up. We should not know about this. I get, Troy saying what he said, okay, fine. But for the team to come out and publicly say this, nah, they're making it a bigger deal than what it needs to be. They'll put some medicine in that AC joint, and he'll be fine.
Not medicine, painkiller.
Medicine.
Yeah,
it's
not
medicine.
medicine.
It is medicine.
Medicine heals. Painkiller just masks.
Oh, it heals.
Right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Don't call it medicine.
What you hear?
Opposite of.
That's what it is.
Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe is now suggesting that my team, the Dallas Cowboys, is crumbling under the pressure,
Feeling it.
choking its guts out ahead of its game of the year to the point that it is exaggerating, if not fabricating, injuries to the quarterback. Isn't that your premise, right?
Premise.
Okay, thank you very much.
In a nutshell.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell the truth, the painful truth. This is a big, bad deal for my Dallas Cowboys. This feels not meant to be. Like about half of this year, 7 games this year, felt not meant to be because they lost 7 out of 14. So I say, Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. I say, fly, Eagles, fly. And I say, why, Dallas, why? Here we go again. It's just like this whole season has been one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. So what is happening to the point spread? You said my team was favored. Yeah, it was. And now it's plunging. Yeah. It's gone down a full point already. And trust me, as this day wears on, it'll go down to 1 point. It might be pick 'em by the kickoff of this game because there's so much question. It's so up in the air about whether my quarterback will even play in this football game.
Oh, my goodness, Skip. Stop it now.
So what do we know about my quarterback?
What do we know about him?
In 4 years, and we're almost to the conclusion of his 4th year, he has not missed a single game, nor in his history a single practice. Wow. Now, one time has Dak Prescott ever even been listed as limited in a practice. Not once until yesterday. And not only was he limited, he was DNP, did not practice. He stood and watched the practice. According to all the media members, he did not even attempt to throw a single pass, but he did try a few left-handed. He tossed a few with his wrong hand.
Sure.
Fabricating? I think not. It's you can't, you say, why would you disclose this? You can't hide the fact that the quarterback didn't practice. You can hide a whole lot of stuff in practice, but if the quarterback doesn't throw a single pass, even if they tried to fake it and he just handed the ball off the whole practice, maybe you could sort of try to get away with that.
But you didn't have to disclose the reason why he didn't practice. Okay, yeah, I get that, Skip. You can't hide that he did, that the quarterback, well, we didn't see Dak at practice today. Okay, you can't hide that, but must you disclose why he isn't practicing?
Okay.
He has so many things wrong with him, I think you can't help not exposing. You almost have to disclose why can't he even throw the football? Is it his fractured index finger on his throwing hand? Well, they tried to downplay that, and they said that's no big deal. After our man Troy Aikman obviously reported after a conversation with Dak on the field before the game that Dak indicated to him, I have a hairline fracture at the tip of my index finger on my throwing hand.
Correct.
Not the end of the world, but not the greatest thing because it's just a distraction. It's just it's an annoyance is what it is. And in colder weather, it can ache. Will it slightly affect your accuracy? Maybe slightly affect. Your middle finger's the last finger to come off the football, but still, it could just bother you. It's not the best thing going into the biggest game of the year. This is obviously a playoff game before the playoffs start, right? This is one game or bust.
Right.
You are either in or you are out.
Yep.
So is this any way for my quarterback to get ready for the biggest game of the year? I think not. What was Jason Garrett? Jason Garrett, you can say a lot of things about him, and I said a whole lot of things about him, but he's always reasonably honest. Sometimes he's evasive, but he will not lie to the media in my history of carefully studying Jason Garrett. So he was pointedly asked twice yesterday, will Dak be able to go on Sunday? And he said both times, I just don't know. And I think that was an honest reaction on his part because his quarterback couldn't throw a single pass in practice. Usually with Dak, you would get the quote of, Dak's a warrior. That's what they always say. Dak's a warrior, and Jason would just sort of shrug it off and say, sure, I'm sure he'll suck it up.
The crooks is Dak going to play on Sunday?
I don't know.
Stop it.
Well, I just don't know.
I know.
Well, I hope you know, because I don't. And again, Ed Werder reported that he even pulled Jason aside as they walked out of the press conference and said, Jason, play or not play? And he said, honestly, I'm not sure about that.
You know what the problem is, Skip Bayless? The Cowboys and everybody under takes a cue from their owner. Because he can't keep his mouth shut, and guess what? Nobody else can keep their mouth shut. There is no way, okay, if your quarterback's not playing, not practicing, got no problem with that. But for you to disclose the very nature of the injury, shoulder injury. Now, the play that happened on was the Clay Matthews play that he ran. Skip.
Not sure about that.
I'm willing to bet on that.
Okay, well, I'm about to break that down for you.
Because, Skip, as a matter of fact, I broke my collarbone on a very similar play like that, got teacupped on the side. And back in 92, the rest is so, Dave Durison, I ran a 7 route and partially dislocated both shoulders on a play like that. Landed on it, and then Dave Durison landed on the top of me and did the other one.
Okay.
So I've seen these injuries before. But, Skip, if it's an AC joint, they're going to put some medicine now. Obviously, it's very painful. They're trying to do some stretching, trying to keep as much strength in that shoulder as they possibly can. But they're going to put medicine in that shoulder. You know that. And Dak Prescott's going to be like...
painkiller.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there's no way to fix it right now. You can't heal it on the fly.
You know what I mean. They're going to inject the shoulder. Dak Prescott's going to go out there and he's going to feel just fine. But if I'm Fletcher Cox, I'm doing everything I possibly can to put Dak on that shoulder.
Well, unfortunately, he's got a shoulder and an index finger, and according to the practice report, his left wrist is sprained.
I don't care about that. I don't care nothing about no finger. I don't care nothing about, because guess what? I want that shoulder. And I'm going to try to put him on that shoulder. And if I'm Fletcher, I'm going to try to put all 300 pounds on it.
So Jason Garrett is not known for gamesmanship. He's not one of those shrewd operators who drops little hints about this could be happening or that couldn't be happening. I think he was shooting straight when his quote was, right now it's just hard to function with that right throwing shoulder banged up, okay? Hard to function. So let's go back to the play in question. If we could see the Clay Matthews play, this is the first play of what became the opening 90-yard drive for the first touchdown, 7-0. And it's a zone read. I wish he'd run this play a lot more. And he gets around Clay Matthews, who actually played it very well. And then Clay rolls over the top of him, and you can argue his right shoulder got pulled underneath a little bit. A little bit. Remember, Dak's a big, strong man. He goes about 240-ish, and he's not prone to injury. He'll get banged up, but not hurt.
But guess what, Skip? You could be the biggest and strongest of man, but it takes the same amount of pressure to fracture a collarbone or dislocate something.
I would agree with you. So, again, I've been banging the desk for him to run that play more, but Clay played it very well. He's playing it all day long because they were obviously, Wade went into the game saying, I can't let him hurt us that way.
Because guess who hurt him a couple of weeks earlier? Lamar Jackson.
He hurt him. He didn't hurt him. He ran him off the field. Okay? So we did have 2 more plays in the first half that, again, if you're right about that play, then it's good news that it was that play because he continued to function.
Yeah, and he threw a pass right after that.
Okay, threw lots of passes that were pretty good. So we get to a 4th and 1 play at the 7. This is in the 21-7 touchdown drive, and it's a pretty big play in the game. You're going all or nothing here, and he sneaks it. So he sneaks it, and obviously at that point he's using his right shoulder to pile drive, right? So if he went to the sideline and complained of an AC joint injury after the Clay Matthews play, well, they wouldn't have even called his number there, right?
Well, I think the thing, a lot of times, Skip, is that when you're in the game and you hurt something, you have so much adrenaline pumping that you don't really, it bothers you. Know something wrong, but once the game is over and the next day.
If you voiced any concern to your play caller or your head coach, they wouldn't call that play. They would have handed it to 21.
He probably wouldn't say anything, considering, Skip, that when he did it, they threw a pass the very next play after the Clay Matthews.
Okay.
So clearly he didn't show any sign.
Okay, so now we go to the final touchdown drive, and it was a short field drive after the Sean Lee interception right before halftime. And the second play of that little short series was this play. And look at this. He just took off running. It's a scramble. It's not a called run, obviously. I mean, he's taking some shots here, obviously he's playing with abandon, like he's not trying to guard his shoulder or turn away from the hits.
Okay.
It's clear at that point he has no qualms about his right shoulder. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Because usually if you do, you're going to protect or you're going to sort of fall away from your right shoulder, right? So again, I don't see any concern on his part at this point for his right shoulder. Maybe it's straight adrenaline. Maybe it's just warrior syndrome because I've seen this guy take so many shots, and he just keeps going no matter what the injury factor might be, right? Okay, so I got one more play, because now we go through the second half, and there was a short scramble for a yard. There was another sneak for a yard, but there's one play late in the game with 7:37 left in the game. It's 34-7 at this point in this play. He tries a handoff to Tony Pollard, and they miss the mesh point on kind of a zone read play, and the ball goes on the ground. And Dak just dives headlong for this football, and this is dangerous because guess who met him head on? Clay Matthews, back again. And that's one where you could hurt your shoulder.
Well, you know that's the play, the very play, a similar play that Drew Brees ended his shoulder on. It was a fumble. He dove and tried to get it. John Lynch hit him.
He did.
And his arm went all the way around.
All the way around.
That very play, a play very similar to that.
Okay. He did recover the fumble, but at what cost? Because it's 34-7, and again, is that smart or dumb? You know, that's not the smartest play to go after the fumble.
You know, instinct just takes over at that point in time, because they say, son, don't dive in there. I mean, your hands, your shoulder, anything can happen, but you're like, I got to get the ball.
Okay. So I hope against hope that you are right, that the injury occurred on the very first zone read keeper, and Clay went over the top of him, piled on, or just rolled over the top of him. Because if you're right about that play, I'm good to go, because he obviously functioned pretty well the rest of the game, and maybe it was just lingering soreness into Wednesday, right? I can live with that, and we'll be okay going forward. But if it happened on that last play, if that was it, diving for the fumble, and that's the one, because after that, he didn't have to throw another pass. It's 34-7 at that point, and Tony Pollard got loose for one long touchdown.
Later after that, you're right.
Okay, so my point to you is, if it happened there, I'm in trouble.
Right. Well, I believe it happened on the Clay Matthews play, and even after that play, Skip, he threw the ball 20 more times after that play. Like I said, a lot of times when you're in a ball game, Skip, you hurt your ankle or knee or anything, unless it's like severe. The adrenaline is going so much. It is like it's like once the game is over and you're in the locker room, you like everything now you like, it's like a fog being lifted. You can really feel like, damn, I took a hit there. I mean, I didn't even feel this in the game, but here I am feeling it now.
That's crazy.
And what they're trying to do, I guarantee you, they're doing exercises, trying to keep as much strength in the shoulders as they possibly can. They'll put a little medicine in, calm it down, Skip. A little medicine in there. Because trust me, I've had that, Skip, and I couldn't even lift my arm. They put that medicine in that jitty, you know.
Really? I mean, it's truly, it can mask that much pain.
Did you ever throw a pass in an NFL game?
No.
What was that? Nope. Flying.
So you can do that, but could you do that?
Not a QB.
But I've seen quarterbacks that had those very injuries. My quarterback I played with, John Elway. Brian Greasy separated his shoulder. They put medicine in it. Guess what? And he played. So if Dak is the warrior that that you said he is, there should be no problem. Now, Skip, I told you I got an excuse business because people got tired of making them. I couldn't make any money. People like, I'm done with the excuses because, you know, it's about to start the New Year resolution. They done with excuses. I'm going out of business. So I don't want to hear that, Skip Bayless.
So is it an excuse if Dak can't play in the game?
Dak is playing. Stop saying it to you.
I think that would qualify as an excuse.
I know what you're trying to do, Skip Bayless. What you're trying to do is set yourself up, Scott. If my quarterback had been 100% healthy, Carson Wentz gets the breaks or breaks. He got to be no, I ain't trying to hear that. Your quarterback is just fine.
Did my quarterback miss his first ever practice in 4 years?
Yes. Well, considering the first couple of years he ain't do a whole lot, he shouldn't be sore. Zeke was running the ball down people's throat.
Really?
He was throwing 12 times a game. How you gonna get hurt?
Wait, my quarterback made the Pro Bowl as a rookie. He was the Offensive Player of the Year. Maybe you missed that. I don't know.
Hold on. Did Zeke lead the league in rushing at 1,600 yards and missed the last game of the season?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I don't know how
much. Hold on. You remember Skip in Pittsburgh when he dumped the ball to Zeke and Zeke hit his head on the goalpost from 80? Yeah, Dak did a lot of heavy lifting on those.
So I do want to point out that not one time during this football game on Sunday did you ever see Dak like windmill his arm just to say, I got a little thing going on here trying to get the kink out of it. Nope. Did one time we see him between offensive series on the sideline just throw a few extra passes just to make sure it would come out okay? Did we see it? I didn't see it one time.
Right. So it was because all I know is I see Drew Brees between every series. He throwing on the sideline. I see Tom Brady. I see all the other quarterbacks. So what that tell you, Skip Bayless?
Well, I guess the guy who threw the most catchable passes in the NFL this year, I guess he doesn't need to throw it on the sideline.
So hold on.
I think it's so mental.
So he need to do something because he got more INTs than Trubisky. You proud of that? You like you don't say, Skip Bayless says, I'll take that to my bank. You want to take more interceptions than Mitchell Trubisky to your bank?
All I know is my guy's performance this year in every statistical category was better than Aaron Rodgers. That's all I know. No, it was an outrage that my guy didn't make the Pro Bowl.
It's not an outrage. Yeah. It's an outrage that your quarterback with all those stats is 7-7.
Okay.
So that tells me something, Jenny. Either they are behind by a significant amount, and he's unable to bring them back. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't watch the game, sometimes if you just look at the stats, because a lot of times people just look, ooh, Dak had 463 and they lost by 7. Ooh, the defense didn't show up. No. What about Dak being down 31-3?
What about the defense not showing up?
Well, hold on.
Good point.
But see,
I don't even care. That's all just water under the bridge. It's all spilled milk that we just cleaned up on Sunday.
No.
We just mopped up that milk and we said, let's go. Let's go to Philly.
Well, I don't want you making excuses because I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that, Skip Bayless.
I'm congratulating you today because you pulled it off.
I ain't pull up anything. I ain't pull off anything.
And I think it is time for me to raise the specter of my backup quarterback that nobody out there can probably even name. His name is Cooper Rush.
Yep.
Cooper Rush, and he's from Central Michigan, undrafted. He has thrown a grand total in his NFL life, 3 passes in real games, completed 1 for a grand total of 2 yards, and he could be my quarterback on Sunday.
Stop it.
And I'm going to just throw out this. You'll probably appreciate this, I hope, but my backup could be Colin Kaepernick right now, and then I'd be happy right now because I'd be saying, you know what? In Cap, I trust. He's been there and done all that before.
You got a better chance of Randall Cobb playing backup quarterback and winning a game than Cooper Rush. Well, as a matter of fact, you got a better chance of Cooper Manning. That's the most famous Cooper that you probably know at this point in time.
Love Cooper Manning.
I would take Cooper Manning over Cooper Rush right now.
But stop this now. I'm not going to allow you to do this because
I'm not doing anything. I'm just reciting the facts.
So let me ask you a question. Why is it when LeBron says I got a hand injury or my groin, you was very skeptical of that? But Dak Prescott can sneeze and you say he got avian flu. How? What is this?
LeBron got swept, and after the 4th game, he comes to the media session with some soft cast on his right hand.
Oh,
we didn't know anything about it.
Kind of like Brady. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, Jenny. Kind of like Brady. When Deshaun Watson did that number.
Don't put LeBron in the same conversation with Tom Brady. That is blasphemy. Blasphemy. So 6-3 in
if I'm not mistaken, on a Sunday night game, the Houston Texans bashed Tom Brady over his head, and he came wearing his elbow with ice on his elbow. Is that the same thing you're talking about? Yeah, okay. I was just checking.
I'm talking about getting swept in the finals after you quit on your team in overtime in game 1.
Don't do that.
You show up with some weird soft cast on your hand.
Don't do that.
I hit the blackboard.
Hold on, Skip.
I was so mad.
I mean,
stop it.
4 Hall of Famers, 3 surefire Hall of Famers, and a potential with Draymond. And LeBron James got swept. And where's the shame in that?
LeBron leads the world in excuse-making on the biggest stage.
No.
Leads the world.
Okay, but here's the thing. You guys make excuses for other guys. Somebody doesn't have enough help. Offensive line isn't blocking. Sonny Michel's in the doghouse. Julian Edelman is old. Now, mind you, just 6 months ago, he won the MVP in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
6 months, not 6 years, Jenny.
I don't care about Tom Brady right now. I don't care about LeBron James. I just care about my quarterback.
There's nothing wrong with
biggest reason my team is in position to win the East.
Well, it seems like your quarterback something wrong with his stomach. Seems like he's getting a little queasy right now. Yeah, it seems like you need to go get some KO Pate because his stomach's bubbling.
He's never
pressure.
Congratulations, Shannon Sharpe. You can front run today all you want. You got it.
How I'm front running?
You got it.
Hold on. I'll tell you what. To make this a fair fight, I need you guys to take Amari Cooper, and I need you to take Gallup off the field. And I need you to bring up 2 of your practice squad guys and count on them. And Zeke can't play. I'll let you have Mike Pollard.
I need you to take Carson Wentz off the field.
Walking to him. Walking to him will be there. Walking to him will be there.
Unfortunately, you have your quarterback. I don't have mine.
Yes, you do.
Your quarterback
Where's Dak
has
at?
4 days now to get ready for this.
4 days.
4 days before this matchup. We'll have to
You ought to
see.
be ashamed of yourself, Skip.
I'm
You
surprised
should be
you're-
ashamed.
Be proud of yourself.
No mercy.
It'll be a battle for the best record in the NBA tonight when LeBron and the Lakers take on Giannis and the Bucks in Milwaukee. Both teams are coming off a loss and dealing with injuries. The Bucks will be missing starting guard Eric Bledsoe. The Lakers will be without Kyle Kuzma. And according to Frank Vogel, Anthony Davis is questionable after missing their last game. Yesterday, AD said he was, quote, hopeful that he'd be able to play tonight. So, Shannon, who you got? Who wins this one tonight?
I'm going to take the Lakers. Obviously, I would feel a lot more comfortable if I knew definitively that if AD was playing. But there are 3 things that the Lakers are going to need to do to win this ball game. They're going to have to guard the 3. That's always what I put on the board first. Guard the 3. Obviously, turnovers. They got to protect the ball. Skip. Can we make a free throw? How do you, as a team, shoot better from the field when people are guarding you than you do from the free throw line when everybody's at least 4 feet away from you?
It's mental.
That's what they need to do. Now, I know Giannis is going to be chomping at the bit. This is going to be an opportunity for the world to see him against the Lakers because everybody watched the Lakers. And LeBron's going to try to, he wants to show that Giannis wants to show LeBron that when he's ready to abdicate the throne, he's a worthy successor. That's what he wants to do. But LeBron ain't going anywhere anytime soon, so you got to wait your turn, Giannis. Wait your turn.
So LeBron will put him back in his place.
We're going to do what we do. Yeah. We don't get caught up. See, Skip, a lot of people get caught up in a one-on-one battle. That's not what we do. We play a team sport. If I want to do one-on-one, I'd play tennis like Federer or Serena or golf like Tiger. Yeah. But that's not what we do. We play a team sport, and I'm the ultimate team player. Get that through your skull, Skip.
Really?
Yeah.
So one-on-one with Miles Turner, you're going to turn down, drive, and shoot a deep fall-away.
Oh, no, it was not one-on-one. It was the Indiana Pacers against the Lakers, and the Lakers lost, the Pacers won. But back to my original point, those are some of the things that the Lakers are going to have to do. They're going to have to take care of the ball. And Frank Vogel said this the other night. They won a ball game which they turned the ball over 22 times. And Frank Vogel said, we got to be careful here. Because we keep turning this ball over, they're going to come back to bite us. And it bit them. They shot 26% from the three-point line. That's terrible. 47% from the free throw line, which is god-awful. So I expect them to clean those things up. Now, if AD does not play, I'm expecting a virtuoso. Yes. I'm talking about Pavarotti at the Sydney Opera House.
Really?
Yes, that's what I'm expecting, Skip.
Why at Sydney?
Because you want him at the Met? You want him at the Met?
Wherever you want.
But you know it's going to be one of those performances.
I want him in Rome.
No, you want it's going to be one of those performances that's going to resonate, that you're going to hear people talking. Like, you remember that night? Do you remember that night? We're going to talk about this a little later. When LeBron went 45, 15, and 5, do you remember?
Oh.
Everybody remembers where they were. Tonight.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
I have no idea where I was.
You was in a hotel room cheering for Kevin Garnett. Come on, Boston, because you wanted to have some material. But LeBron says no.
I was on my couch in New York City.
And guess what?
It's a Friday night.
And LeBron said, you know what, Skip Bayless? I kept that note. I might didn't get an opportunity to use it a year earlier, but I kept it. I still got it.
Well, it blew up in it.
And they blew up nothing.
So, you were predicting a Lakers victory tonight.
Yes, I am.
It was a little half-hearted on your part.
Yeah, and give me them 4 points.
No.
Come on, hold on.
Oh,
hold on. The MVP in his home, and you can't give me 4?
It's 2-on-1. It's 2 superstars versus 1. Even Giannis said that yesterday. Hold on. It's 2-1.
First of all, we don't know if AD's playing.
Well, he'll play.
We don't know that.
Like what you were saying about Dak. AD will play in this game.
Hold on now. You gonna tell you that? You just told me I say Skip. Are you saying Dak's not going to play? I just don't know.
Well, I don't know about Dak, but I do know about this guy. He's got an ankle. He load managed at Indiana, and they gave the excuse of, it's his ankle.
You saw the man hobbling against Atlanta.
Yeah, he was fine. He's fine. He'll be fine. Want to bet that he'll play tonight? I will bet you he will play.
No.
Yeah. So, my issue with tonight is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't trust him because he's never given me complete and utter evidence where I say, case closed, I trust you. Because if I can just hark back to the recent FIBA World Cup tournament that was played in China. You remember what happened when Brazil upset Giannis's Greece team? Remember this?
Yeah.
And the coach after the game for Brazil said,
40-year-old.
"Why this sport is so wonderful. You have a guy who won MVP. He's 23 years old. And who stops him tonight? The guy who is 40 years old kicked his ass." That's what the Brazil coach said.
Love it.
That's of Giannis. That was the FIBA World Cup against Brazil.
Yeah.
This is at Milwaukee against LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't know. What evidence do I have? Because last seen on the biggest stage, what happened in the last 3 games, really the last 4 games, against Toronto? Because remember, Milwaukee won the first 2 games, and then Giannis shrank. And he shrank smaller and smaller, and by the end of the run in Game 6, he was probably like 5 feet 11 inches tall. That's what he's playing.
So he shrunk a foot.
Because they built a wall. And the Brazil coach, back to him, he said, "I had for 6 months in my head, since the semifinals between Toronto and Milwaukee, I knew how to stop Antetokounmpo." Well, he saw what Toronto did. They built the wall with 3 big guys, including Kawhi Leonard, long arms, big reach, and they just said, you can't come in here, right? You have to shoot it beyond 10 or 12 feet, and he could not do that. I've seen some signs of him improving on his three-point shot and his mid-range jump shot this year.
Improved in free throws, too, but he'll still throw an air ball every once in a while.
He will throw some air balls. He's not a trustworthy free throw shooter, but neither is the guy on the other team.
We're not talking about the guy. You're talking about Giannis.
Yeah, so I want everybody to understand. The Bucks right now rank number 1 in defensive efficiency and number 2 in offensive efficiency and number 1 in the NBA in pace. Nobody pushes the ball harder and faster than the Bucks do, especially in their building.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're up against. And the Lakers have been sensational. They've been way better than I thought they would be. And they're 3rd in defensive efficiency, which is a quantum leap from what they were last year. And they're 5th in offense, which is pretty good. They're 15th in pace, so they don't push the ball because too often LeBron at point guard, and I have no issue with this, he's going to mostly walk the ball up the floor. So they're going to be middle of the pack on pace.
Right.
If they get the chance to run, they can really run because LeBron can throw some
outlets,
some touchdown passes, right?
Yep.
So that's how they run, but they're still 15th. So in the end, we got sort of these cancel out these 2. So Bledsoe's gone, and Bledsoe's a big part of what they do.
He ain't AD.
Yeah, okay. But Kuzma's gone, and he is a huge part of what the Lakers do. He is the Lakers' closer, and they missed him dearly at Indiana. He would have closed that game for the Lakers. LeBron not capable of closing that game.
Stop saying that,
Well,
Skip.
it's just he wasn't. He just...
How about this say he didn't? Don't say he wasn't.
Well, every once in a while he can close, but I don't think he'll be able to close this game. So you proposed the bet yesterday, and I'm going to go against my better judgment, and I'm going to take Giannis at home. I will take him for 1 case tonight at home.
You give me the 4?
No, heck no.
Skip,
You already proposed it yesterday. You said I got the Lakers.
But it's 4 points.
You said it. You
it's
didn't
4
say
points.
any points.
Skip, I've given you points before.
Stop it.
Hold on, Skip. You tried to get me to give you 3.5 points to Miami.
I don't care. This is LeBron and AD versus Giannis.
Hold on. You wanted 3 points against the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler, but you won't give me 4 with the reigning MVP in his house?
Remember, if you'd give me those Miami points, I would have won that game.
I know you would.
It was 3.5.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do the halves.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have won that game.
But you know what? I know you're chicken, but I'm going to take it anyway.
Okay, thank you. Done. I got Giannis. Come on, Greek freak. Rise and shine. For once in your life, rise and shine.
Okay.
I like their team, and I like at home because I didn't note this, but this is with Eric Bledsoe, but just about 2 weeks ago on a Friday night, it'd be 2 weeks ago tomorrow night, guess what happened to the Clippers there? You don't like the Clippers.
Oh, they blew the doors off it.
Blew the doors off.
Hey, you know, guess what? I couldn't find, they wouldn't let, hold on. I couldn't see Pat Beverly. I couldn't see Paul George. I didn't see Kawhi guard Giannis, but like 2 times. They put Mo Harkless. They let Mo Harkless catch this
not
fire.
gonna work.
Why they do that, Skip? Now you got to, we got some of the greatest wing players of all time. This reminds you of Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. But I tell you this about Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. They ain't ducked nobody. They didn't let, Harp, you take him. We don't want no parts of this here. They wanted no parts of Giannis. Uh-huh.
The Clippers are eyeing May and June. They are just pacing themselves like the tortoise versus the hares that are.
We ain't running that fast. You just said you just talked. Hold on, you just talked about our pace.
Yeah.
We 15th in pace. We don't go, hey, we take our time. Because we going to get there at the same, guess what, Skip? May and June is going to come at the same time for the Clippers as it does the Lakers.
Yeah.
So
one team will be rested, one will be worn out.
Worn out for what?
Trying to prove that
we ain't got to prove nothing.
Not washed.
We know who we are.
Yeah.
We know who and what we are, Skip.
So in that game, Clippers at Milwaukee, the final score was 119-91. That was a 28-point win for the home team.
In other words, a whole lot to a few.
Yeah. Kawhi had 17.
What?
Paul George managed 13.
What?
Sweet Lou Williams was bitter that night with 11, and Trez had 11. Montrezl Harrell had 11 points in that game.
So you mean to tell on?
It was a defensive showcase.
You mean to tell me the best player on the planet had 17 points against Giannis?
Interesting. Well, they just got completely shut down by all the Bucks, and I think
I don't care about all the Bucks.
Much of the same will happen to your Lakers tonight. They're going to be up against a defensive dynamo tonight, and we'll see how they fare.
GOAT.
Yeah.
James.
And if this is a close game down the stretch, there's no Kyle Kuzma.
The close game down the stretch, you're watching LeBron hit that three from Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. Yeah, you ain't know I was a Wisconsinite.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, and
Ashwaubenon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've spent many a night in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Well,
that's where you stay.
That's where you stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you fly into.
My family's in River Falls, Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah.
River Falls.
Well, LeBron,
I've
hopefully
spent many
Grandma's
a summer
watching.
in River Falls.
Yeah, there you go.
LeBron might hit a three from there tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I see a big night, Skip. I see a big night.
Wait, are we talking about the same LeBron who was 0 for 6 from 3?
Bet it won't be 0 for 6 tonight.
Okay.
He's going to make at least 3. He'll make at least 3 threes.
I hope he does.
Better case for at least 3.
Heck no.
I tell you what, you know what, Skip? I know you want to bet.
No.
4 threes for a case.
Nope. I got one case on the home team.
I would win 2 cases.
I got one team on the home team that's a 4.5-point favorite.
You feeling good? You feeling good about that?
I'm feeling okay about it.
Okay.
You guys make bets around here. All right, we'll have to see.
No mercy.
Cowboys, Eagles. The Eagles have the opportunity to come one step closer to winning the NFC East with a victory against their division rival, the Cowboys, on Sunday. The importance of the game has not escaped quarterback Carson Wentz. When asked if it was the biggest game of his career, Wentz said, quote, "You could probably say that." So, Shannon, is this the biggest game of Wentz's career?
No. I believe the game in Green Bay was bigger earlier because they were 1-2. They had just lost to the Lions. Skip. They was playing an early game in Green Bay. And so now the Cowboys are 3-0. Whoo, because you look at Cowboys, they about to go 4-0. We go 1-3. It's basically over. Walking to him said, I'm not going to let that happen. Skip.
What do you mean 3-0? Oh, against Philly?
The Cowboys had got up to 3-0. The Eagles, the Eagles were 1-2. Had just lost to the Lions.
Okay, I got it.
Going on the road to Green Bay on a short week. They played Thursday night. You remember that? You remember walking to him and what he did, Skip? I would hit nobody.
Aaron Rodgers
Stop
didn't
it.
do.
Stop it.
That was the story of the night.
Skip. Vegas says that the Cowboys are favorite. Nobody is expecting the Eagles to win this game.
Well, they're about to. That spread is plunging as we speak. Oh, wait, I just heard it fall another.
The pressure is on the Cowboys. That's why they're coming up with all these phantom. Oh, Dak's stomach. Oh, his wrist. Oh, his back. I mean, pretty soon he's going to be coming out there with a motorized scooter, Jenny. Gee, I'd never seen anything like this. Imagine, Skip, if the Cowboys were missing Amari, Michael Gallup, had no Zeke, and expecting a great game. Because you remember what you got from Dak? You kept beating the table. He doesn't have a number 1. Well, we don't have a number 1 or a number 2. We're counting on Greg Ward Jr., who's done a great job over the last couple of weeks. We're counting on a guy that has 2 last names, Boston Scott. And he's giving us some valuable playing time. Miles Sanders is starting to step up. But Skip, there's really no pressure on Carson Wentz because nobody expects him to win this game outside of the Philly fans, the outside public, because, hold on. I'm hearing people say nobody wants to play the Cowboys. I could have sworn I just heard that.
I heard that,
too. The Cowboys just scored 44 points. They beat a team that what?
That's if they make the play.
Whoa. Yep. I'm just saying, Skip, it's my... I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you a rhetorical question or anything, and you just keep interjecting.
Well, you just need a little bit of reason in what you're saying. Look, all the pressure is on the Dallas Cowboys, Skip, because they're the favorite.
They're supposed to win this game. Everybody keeps telling. You say Pro Football Focus, they still the best team in football, even though they're 7-7. That's what you told me. So with that,
this week I haven't looked.
Okay, but you look. If he had all his weapons, Skip, the only reason that they're still in this position is because walk it to them. Their defense has been abysmal, with the exception of maybe one game. Their defense has been terrible all year, Skip, and you know it. D-Jack, what they expected to have, a deep threat, and Deshaun Jackson went away after the first week when he put up those monster numbers against Washington. Alshon has been in and out of that lineup, and now he's on IR. And so with that being said, this is not his biggest game of his career. There'll be bigger games when he's at full strength. Hopefully the Cowboys at full strength, and we'll see what happens. But this is not the biggest game. There's no pressure on him. All the pressure on the Cowboys.
Now Shannon Sharpe is attempting to remove the pressure from the quarterback he loves, the quarterback who has let him down so often, and he's saying this is no big deal for bounce it to him Wentz.
My quarterback has a Super Bowl ring. Quarterback has what?
How many playoff snaps has your quarterback taken in his life? Help me out.
He would have took a bunch of them.
How about none?
They would have won that.
How about zero?
They still would have won the Super Bowl had he been there.
How much did he contribute to that playoff run, to that Super Bowl ring?
He got him
zero.
He got him a number one seed.
He got him zero. So the point is that Carson Wentz is edging toward the truth that he knows is about to hit him right between the eyes. This is by far times 10, maybe times 100, the biggest game of his life, because this is clearly a playoff game to get into the playoffs. Carson Wentz has played no playoff games in his life, so now the pressure starts, and it will mount quickly through this game because he is still trying to fill the, if you will, cleats of a guy named Nick Foles, the magic man, the guy Chris Long built a shrine to in the Eagles locker room.
And the Jacksonville players just built a prison for him. Put him in jail so he can't get out and play anymore, Jimmy. Gardner Minshew is starting now. That ain't none of my business.
All those Eagle fans, those boo birds who are sitting on their wings and their hands in the stands so far, all they know is that Nick Foles had one of the most magical runs to a Super Bowl championship that they have ever witnessed in the history of the league, when he routed Jenny's Minnesota Vikings with a sensational performance, and then he turned it right into 41 points against Bill Belichick.
Oh, no. Well, if you don't mind me asking, who was the quarterback for a Bill Belichick team? The people need to know, because a lot of people don't know who
Glad
coached.
you brought that up. Tom Brady in that game threw for an NFL record 505 yards. Nobody in the history of the NFL playoffs has thrown for more yards than Tom did in that game against that Eagles defense, 505. And Tom Brady put up 33 points, which in any other Super Bowl would have won the game, but not when Bill Belichick's defense collapsed.
It's amazing. When we like all-time great players, we'll take what they do in a loss and magnify it. Michael Jordan scored 63 points.
How can you magnify 505? It's already magnified.
Time out, Skip. Time out. Michael Jordan scored 63 points. They catch an L. It's the greatest performance anybody's ever seen. Tom Brady caught an L. It was 505, and we're talking about what. All I know, Skip, did he win or lose? That's all I need to know. I got everything here. I put it on here. Wins on this side. Losses over here.
His defense lost.
Don't do that.
Because Bill Belichick somehow...
Who fumbled the ball?
Bill Belichick somehow fumbled the decision to, keep his best cornerback, the player who had played the most snaps on defense, on the sideline the whole game?
Skip.
Malcolm Butler?
Skip.
What are you doing?
Your guy dropped the touchdown pass. And he
it was
the ball.
a touchdown pass.
Touchdown pass.
Wait, you told me he can't run a lick, and he was like 45 yards from the end zone. How is he going to get to the end zone?
He had it. They had everybody. They're like, where's Tom? They looking for Tom. Thought he was in the backfield. He down the field.
And Amendola threw it way over his head. He doesn't catch passes for a living. Nick Foles, really a fine athlete because he was a recruited to play basketball.
Hold on. You told me Tom Brady was an outstanding baseball player. Got drafted. That's what you told me.
Yeah, but a catcher is not that athletic. Right? He's a catcher.
Catchers make a lot of money.
Okay, but that's not athletic.
Who's
more athletic, a catcher or a guy who gets a scholarship offer from Baylor to play in the Big 12 in basketball? Help me out.
I don't know about that. Skip, I'm telling him what he did. Now, don't minimize. Let's go back. Let's go back to my guy. Walk it to him.
Bounce it to him. He's got big issues hanging over his head because since Carson Wentz entered this league, nobody in the whole league has fumbled more than Carson Wentz over the last 4 years that Carson Wentz has been a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz knows full well in the back of his psyche that he lost 2 fumbles at Dallas earlier this year. He knows in the back of his brain that he's lost a fumble in each of the last 5 games, including one sort of mid-fourth quarter the other day at Washington that could have just blown up the whole season.
Yep.
But to his credit, he rallied them back, and he's had 2 nice closes against the Giants and at Washington.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, I'll give you those. But I don't want to hear any excuses for Carson Wentz because has anybody noticed that, A, my quarterback might not be able to play, but B, how about this? My linebacker core is decimated with injuries. I'm down 2 linebacker starters.
Yep.
Leighton Vander Esch already ruled out. Joe Thomas almost certainly will not play. These are 2 starting linebackers for my Dallas Cowboys. It got so bad that Chris Richard had to sign Malcolm Smith off his couch this week. Malcolm Smith, known best for being the Super Bowl MVP against Peyton and company way back when.
Super Bowl 48.
Yeah, Super Bowl 48. And Richard knows him because he did start for the Legion of Boom, but how he won the MVP is like one of those Larry Brown issues.
Yeah.
Like, how did Larry Brown win the MVP of the Dallas Cowboys? Well, you just happened to be at the right place at the right time, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
So is he an MVP caliber player? No, he's not that guy. And nobody wanted him all year this year, so that's how bad it got. They had to call him and say, could you get up off your couch and come play?
What they got to do with your offense?
It has everything to do with bounce it to him Wentz because the degree of difficulty just got lower and lower because Dallas doesn't have Leighton Vander Esch who can really cover.
But hold on, your defense just did a number on Jared Goff.
So, well, this is different because this offense is built completely differently because what does Carson Wentz do? He throws it to his tight ends more than any quarterback in pro football. He has completed more passes to his tight ends than any other quarterback because he's got in tandem the 2 best tight ends.
No question.
Right?
Yes.
Goertz and Goddard.
Yes.
Those are really good.
Very.
When in doubt, number 11 for the Philadelphia Eagles looks for 86. Where's 86? I'm going to throw it to 86. And God help me. I hope that Chris Richard and the Cowboys are just saying, you know what? We have to take 86 away from Carson Wentz or we're going to be in trouble. That usually leaves Dallas Goedert in single coverage against some linebacker like, I don't know, maybe it's Malcolm Smith. I don't know. And that's
maybe
going to
Jalen Smith.
Maybe it's Jalen Smith, and that could be a mismatch. So,
you know,
advantage Carson Wentz.
Oh, my goodness.
Pressure mounts. Here we go. Can you hang on to the football, and can you find one of your tight ends?
Yeah, what about our
every
defense?
play?
What about our defense against your offense?
What about it? Your front seven's about as stout as any in the league.
No, they're not, Skip.
Yeah, it is.
No, they're not. They're not very good, and you know that. They haven't played with Skip.
Fletcher Cox made the Pro Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Y'all got 3 offensive linemen that made the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
So
I don't know how, but they did.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look at the Eagles' defense. You see that? The number 1 corner for the Eagles get targeted. Nobody picks on your number 1 corner. Maybe your 2 or your slot, your 3rd corner. But your number 1, teams go at your number 1. You remember what the Giants did on Monday night? They went at Darby. He's that number 1 corner. You remember what Washington did on Sunday? The number 1 corner. They attacked him. That's not normal.
Okay. But you talked about, I finally got a number 1 receiver, except Amari Cooper, when they leave Jerry World and go somewhere else, I don't have a number 1 receiver because he disappears. Every time they go away, he disappears.
Well, when we go on the road, I mean, it doesn't matter. Home or road, we got. And Greg Ward has done an unbelievable job.
I like Greg Ward, and I think your quarterback really likes Greg Ward.
Skip.
College quarterback, they got a good rapport, they're on the same wavelength.
Think about it, Skip. There was a time in the Giants game, Josh McCown was getting ready to go play receiver. That's how beat up. Let that sink in for just a second. Your quarterback, your backup, not the 3rd string, not your emergency quarterback, the 2nd string quarterback was needed to play receiver. It had gotten so bad.
All I know is there's a moment in that Giants game was it Monday night?
Yeah, it was a Monday night
when I thought Josh McCown was going to have to go in for Carson Wentz, and I'm like, I'm in trouble now because they're going to come back because I fear Josh McCown.
You fear walking to him?
You do?
I don't.
Oh, walking to him.
Yeah. If my quarterback can go, my quarterback is better than your quarterback, and it will boil down to that and that alone.
Walk it to him versus doink it to him.
Really?
Doink.
I love bounce it to him.
Okay.
And I love it. And he's the equivalent of an NFL slot machine. All you have to do is pull the handle and the ball goes right on the point.
Okay.
Goes right on the carpet.
Your guys kind of
Pull the handle and you hit the jackpot.
Your guys kind of rectified his problem because he had a fumbling issue.
Yeah.
He kind of solved it.
Yeah. Oh, he solved it?
I mean, he hadn't put the ball on the ground this year.
Yes. Who? Oh, my guy
your
hasn't.
guy.
No, my guy completely
But no, your guy won't put it on the ground, but he'll throw it to the other guy in the other guy's chest. He will do that.
If they fall behind 21-3, you better believe he'll try anything.
No, whoa.
Yeah.
Look at how my guy fell behind. Kept his composure, brought him back.
And by the way, nobody's talking about Jordan Howard. It looks like he's going to be back in the saddle, ready to go.
The man ain't played in a month and a half. And you talking
Miles
about back
Sanders, Boston Scott. Wow, they got a core.
Boston Scott. Let that thing get you talking about Boston Scott.
He's come up a lot lately.
He
on
is
our show.
electric. You got lots of weapons. You're just fine.
Hold on. What about Tony Pollard? You told me that two. No, you remember you came out here Monday? That two-headed monster. One is thunder and the other's lightning.
We got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, that look at you now.
Yeah, I got to get her 20 jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good holiday present.
Guess what? It won't last long. It'll be in the trash on Sunday night. When old walking to him done with it.
It worries me around there.
Old walking to him.
Not a good sign.
Keep talking. Keep front running. Keep gloating.
4 days, guys.
How we front running?
You got me on the run. I might not even have my quarterback able to play.
Skip, you know good. Stop saying that. You know good and well Dak is playing. Now stop saying.
I don't know good and well.
We'll see if he gets well. So when discussing the Celtics losing their 2012 playoff series against the Heat, Kevin Garnett brought up Boston eliminating LeBron from the playoffs in 2010 when he was still in Cleveland and had some interesting things to say. Take a listen.
You feel like you can break LeBron at this point?
We broke LeBron.
In Game 5.
So get your out of here with that, all right? You understand how you got the Cleveland, how you got the Miami bill? Remember
That's true. You broke him in 2010.
So remember that, all right?
Fair enough.
Stop bringing that up, all right?
Fair enough.
So they was talking to him, okay? The media and the league knew that they had an agenda in which we wasn't part of the agenda. You understand? Right. And that's how they ended up winning that series. Yeah, I said it. The C's, we didn't give a about LeBron. We didn't fear LeBron, and we didn't think that he can beat all 5 of us.
Well, Shannon, is KG right?
KD sound like a fool. And think about what he just said, Skip. He said the C's didn't fear LeBron because we didn't feel he could beat our 5. He's talking about 3 first-ballot Hall of Famers: Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Rondo is a fringe. We will remain to be seen. And they're talking about beating a 24, 25-year-old LeBron James. Now, that was, Skip, think about this. It was KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Kendrick Perkins, Tony Allen, and Rasheed Wallace came off the bench, going against LeBron James, Mo Williams, Antoine Jameson, Tony Parker, 37-year-old Shaq, and Anderson Varejao. So, KG, since you want to take it this, since you got so much to say right now, I just want to know one thing. Did Kobe and Shaq break your ass? What about Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Ginobili? Because you remember for 12 years he was in the Western Conference. Kevin Garnett got out of the first round, Jenny, one time as the number 1 seed in 2004. He was the MVP. He got bounced by Shaq and Kobe. So in other words, Tim Duncan broke his ass because they didn't fear Kevin Garnett. Skip, Kevin Garnett was one of the first guys that had a no-trade clause. So in order for him to get from Minnesota to Boston, what did he have to do? He talked about wanting to win a championship. He had to go link up. Now, Kevin Garnett came out in 1995. Now, maybe I missed it, but I could have swore he came out of Farragut Academy and went to Minnesota.
Yes.
But how did he win a championship for Boston if they didn't draft him? He go links up, Skip. Do you realize before the Miami Heat Big Three, there was one in Boston? That's what they called Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, the Big Three. So what Bron did said, hold on. It's basically three against one. Well, let me go get me 2 others. D-Wade, what you think, bro? We came, CB, what you think? Okay, let's do it. Kevin Durant was talking that ish. You remember Game 5 when they beat him in Miami, Skip? Kevin Garnett had a lot to say. And then LeBron, on his watch, those 5 he was talking about when he got 45, 15, and 5. Shut it down. So he broke it up. So LeBron James broke up the Celtics Big Three. But they said, let's run it back. But we're going to run it back in Brooklyn. So Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, joins Joe Johnson. LeBron broke that up in Brooklyn. Send him back. sent him back to Minnesota, where he was somewhat of a player consultant. And he want to talk now. Skip, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen so many players that have so much negativity to say about LeBron. That man minding his own business.
Wonder why that is.
Because you hate greatness, but even as great as Michael was, and they froze him out, Skip, you remember they froze him out in the All-Star game, and he never forgot it, especially Isaiah. He never forgot it. Skip, Larry Bird didn't say we broke Mike. Those guys didn't talk about that. You didn't break.
That's exactly right. Keep talking.
But hold on, Skip, because they realize it's Mike against 3. It's Mike against 4. But when Mike got Scotty and he got more players to help him, now Michael going through there kicking butt. Kevin Garnett doing all this talking. I just want to know why you never got out of the first round, with the exception of one time. If it was that easy, KG, it was taking you going to join. So he ran out of the way. Skip. At least LeBron stayed in the same conference. This joker went all the way cross country. I can't deal with Shaq and Kobe. Well, they broke because Shaq left after the 2004 season. I mean, I can't deal with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan broke him because him and Tim Duncan played the same position, and Tim Duncan gave it to him. And he want to talk now. He got a lot to talk about after LeBron made him get up out of Dodge. Made him leave Boston. Made him leave Brooklyn. Bron was the beast of the East. You had a great run, KG, but it's over, bruh. Let it go. You never was, you never were, never will be thought of as LeBron. Let it go, bruh. You won your series, you got your ring. Let it go. That's not the fight you want to fight. Live to see another day, bruh.
My turn. Could you please ask the question again? You have it?
Shannon.
Yes,
well, not Shannon.
Thank you. I'm Skip.
I already heard from him.
Yeah.
I'm still taking in everything you just said. Skip. It's KG right here.
KG is dead solid right about what he said, because in the conference semis in 2010, LeBron's last go-round in the first stop at Cleveland, they made LeBron quit.
Stop it, Skip.
They broke LeBron psychologically, mentally, physically, every way you could break him. And by the way, in Game 3 of that series, which was the first game at Boston Garden, the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers won by 29. I believe that was LeBron's greatest game. You can make a case that the next year in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, when he was with the Heat, obviously you could make a case for that one. Or it'd be two more years after that.
Yeah, right? It was 2 years.
2 years after that. But in this case, LeBron was a tour de force at Boston on a Friday night. I was just in awe of him. And by the way, he made 8 of 9 free throws that night. So he was a plus 30 in that game. And yet here we went again. Here again was LeBron's team up 2-1. And we had seen that happen against Orlando the year before, and they fell apart. And we were about to see it happen in his first go-around with the Miami Heat against Dallas in the NBA Finals, up 2-1 at Dallas, and no, fell apart. So in this one, he fell apart so badly that, look at Game 4. They lost by 10. He had 7 turnovers and went 0 for 5 from 3. Then Game 5, they lost by 32, and LeBron went 3 of 14 from the floor. And then Game 6 back at Boston, they lost by 9. LeBron had 9 turnovers in that game.
How many points? Didn't he have like a triple-double? He had 27, 19, and 12. Wouldn't he have something
10,
like that?
10.
Oh, my bad, Jitty, but they broke him. 27, 19, and 10. But they broke him.
9 turnovers, and they lost by 9. And Dan Gilbert soon after told the Associated Press, and I quote, he quit. This is about LeBron. He quit. Yeah. Not just in Game 5, but in 2, 4, and 6. Watch the tape, said Dan Gilbert, who concluded, the Boston series was unlike anything in the history of sports for a superstar. Period. End quote.
But it's baffling to me. You quit on me, but you know what? I get on my private jet and I go meet you at a private area, and I want you to come back. But you quit on me.
Well, why did LeBron agree to go back? That's the better question.
LeBron went back because LeBron says, you know what? I have unfinished business. Because remember, Skip, when they tried to give him the trophy, he took the trophy from Dan Gilbert. It is not about you. Yeah. We won this. Now, you talk about winning in spite of. That's winning in spite of.
So this conference semifinal was such a debacle of a disaster for LeBron James that his camp then put out the reports. They gave out the information to several reporters who said that LeBron had to be sedated before games 4, 5, and 6 against those Celtics because of a locker room issue that he was trying to cope with. And that's the biggest bunch of baloney I've ever heard. Sedated before those games. I don't want you. That's the all-time excuse I've ever heard.
So let me ask you.
History of excuses.
Okay, Skip. So why? Okay, now it's a fair fight. It's your big three against my big three. Why is and we bust your head? And then remember, has Kevin Garnett talked to Ray Allen? Because remember when Ray Allen went and joined, I don't want to be on you the losing side. Y'all never going to beat him again. I don't want to be a part of y'all losers. I'm going to join him in Miami. And what about Kevin Garnett? Has he talked? Remember they had this reunion and he and Rondo? I'm still surprised that Rondo wants to play with LeBron. He hated LeBron so much that he couldn't wait to join him, Jenny. And Kevin Garnett got so much to say, Skip, he skipped out of the Western Conference.
Okay, so now we go 2 years down the road to Boston Celtics versus LeBron and the Heat.
Yeah!
In the conference finals.
And what happened?
And LeBron and company are down 3-2, and on a Friday night, they went to Boston.
Yeah!
And LeBron played what a lot of people think was his greatest game ever. What was it, 45, 15, and 5? It was great, and they won. They won by 19.
But we need context, Jenny.
Yeah.
Because we need context about Kevin Garnett running his mouth.
Wait, I'm not finished
Okay,
yet.
my bad.
Remember, Kevin dropped in the little agenda issue. He said the NBA had an agenda in that series. So what happened in Game 7 back in Miami? It ended up being a pretty close game because it was a 3-point game. And I'm trying to read between the lines of NBA's agenda.
Yeah.
Boston shot no free throws in the fourth quarter of that game. Miami shot 6 and made 5, and it was a 3-point game. So maybe that's what he's saying is the NBA's agenda. I don't know.
Maybe KG would have a point if they shot 16 and they shot none. But 6 now, he make it seem like that's the greatest disparity that we've ever seen in a conference.
I don't even know
finals.
if that's what he's referring to. I'm just trying to look for something.
There ain't nothing there. He called it. What he thought he was going to run his mouth, because he ran his mouth after they won Game 5 in Miami. And he was talking that talk. But you remember, they showed him, LeBron had his hands on his knees, and his eyes was bouncing side to side, side to side.
Look, I will say this. I believe that Kevin Garnett right now is feeling himself. He is full of himself because he's the star of a movie with Adam Sandler called Uncut Gem. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I have seen it, and Kevin Garnett is great in it, playing Kevin Garnett. He is literally playing Kevin Garnett for real.
Right.
Okay.
And he's very good. Adam's very good. I didn't love the movie, but that's a whole nother issue. But they were sensational, and it is getting big Oscar buzz.
Okay.
So I believe Kevin is feeling himself because they just might win the whole thing. They might win the Oscar.
Okay, but what they got to do on the court? No, I'm
just feeling good the last couple. That makes sense.
You can feel, Jenny. I can feel good about me without trying to crap on somebody else. But see, that's the thing. Sometimes we have to think, I got to make you feel small so I can seem larger than life. KG, what you accomplished in the NBA is great. Nobody's trying to diminish that. But when you forget how you couldn't get out of the first round. You couldn't get through Shaq and Kobe. You couldn't get through Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony.
Okay.
Why? Because it was you against those.
Okay, but is he right that we broke LeBron in that conference semifinal?
Skip, no. What he's trying to skip. LeBron left Cleveland because he couldn't get anybody to come to Cleveland. Hell, LBJ don't want to be in Cleveland. That should tell you superstars not going to Cleveland. Not by choice. Come on, Skip. KG, you better than this. You had your chance to shut him down in Game 6. And LeBron played in Game 7. We glossed over Game 7. Also, the Detroit game, Skip, where he scored, I think, 27 straight, 25 or 27, and he had 48. The last 25 against Detroit. You remember that? When he dropped that 48 on them and broke that up. He broke that up.
All I know is when Dan Gilbert said the Boston series was unlike anything we've seen in the history of sports for a superstar, well, he hadn't seen what was about to happen 2 years later against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals when exactly that same thing happened again.
People say things out of emotion. When you lose, when emotion is high, logic is low. Dan Gilbert, talk about unlike he'd ever seen. He had just bought the team a couple of years ago. Hell, he don't know anything about no basketball, the ins and outs. The man, he broke the guy. A guy had 27, 19, and 10, and they broke him. He probably averaged 30 for the series, but they broke him. Yeah, you had the better team, KG.
In those last 3 games, LeBron James was 18 of 53 from the floor. That's 34%. He was 2 of 13 from 3, and he had 19 turnovers in 3 games.
Skip.
Broke him.
Skip, he had a bad game. So let me ask you a question.
3.
So I guess I'm glad you said that, because the bad boy Pistons broke Mike. They broke him. They broke him. I don't want to hear nothing about no Jordan rules. I don't want to hear nothing about no book. They broke him. They broke him.
He went 6-0.
No,
6-0 with 6 MVPs.
No. Hold on. Wait a minute, Skip. The big 3 Celtics, they broke him.
Did you ever hear one Piston say we broke him?
Yes. Dennis Rodman said all the time.
Wrote a whole book about the Jordan rules. They had to have a set of rules just for Michael Jordan to get by him, to survive him, because they barely survived.
And how they get past him? By breaking him. He says, I got to get stronger. But by me getting stronger, I got to hope the Pistons get older. And they start breaking the pieces. They got rid of Rick Mahorn. You remember Skip Bayless?
I don't remember Michael having 19 turnovers in the last 3 games.
Because he wasn't handling the ball. Scottie Pippen was. He was never. Come on, Skip. Now you better tell. Like KG forgot. See, KG must have forgot. I'm old enough to remember when he was in the Western Conference and he could do nothing every year. But one and done. I thought he was an NCAA freshman. One and done, Jenny, because that's what he was.
Shannon,
one and done.
You can't kill the messenger.
Skip.
That's what you're trying to do.
Skip, it's easy to say the man lost or we broke him. So when Tom Brady loses, the team broke him. Is that what you're saying?
That's what he's saying, and there's a lot of proof here.
Just because you say that don't make it the truth.
Something happened to LeBron.
He lost.
Yeah.
Somebody broke him. Look at it started. Look what he had. And look what LeBron had. Okay, I'm going to put KG on the Cleveland, and I'm going to take LeBron and put him on Celtics. KG win it? I don't think so.
That's not what he was saying.
Of course not. He had the substantial upper hand, and you're going to talk about our 5 didn't fear LeBron. You better not. One better not fear 5. If you do, you're weak. But when he got him some help, he got on D-Wade, he got on CB.
KG might wind up with something LeBron would love to have, but will never have.
What he got?
An Oscar. Yeah, an Oscar.
Never know.
We be doing movies.
He's been busy.
We be doing movies, Skip.
Yeah.
We doing movies. We're going to be producing movies. Not only are we going to be producing movies, we're going to own a team.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like you're going to be involved.
LeBron played himself in Trainwreck.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't hear any Oscar buzz.
Was he good? Was he good?
He was good.
It didn't get Oscar buzz, but I laughed. It was a fun movie.
How many comedies get Oscars for comedy? How many Oscars won a comedy, Jenny?
I can't think of any right now.
Get Shorty maybe was nominated, Big Short, something like that?
Some, like Golden Globes, they have actually a category for
Okay, but there's no Oscar. There's no Oscar.
Yeah, I'll see what I can find out.
Stop doing that. Kobe got an Oscar, so he gonna be late to the party. Kobe already got that taken. So you could be second. The second man to step on the moon isn't Neil Armstrong.
All right.
Wonder if LeBron will get nominated for Space Jam 2.
Don't worry about that. Why you worried about what that man gonna get nominated for?
Dak Prescott was limited in practice yesterday due to a right shoulder injury that he suffered in the first half of the Rams game. In that game, Dak was also dealing with a finger injury that had conflicting reports on its severity. What's more worrisome for the league's second leading passer is what Jason Garrett had to say for Dak because the function in practice was limited. And Ezekiel Elliott said he couldn't imagine throwing with that shoulder injury. We're now joined by Super Bowl champ and Fox College football analyst Reggie Bush. Reggie, does this give the Eagles an advantage?
No, it does not. The Cowboys are still the better football team. I think we saw evidence of that last week, the way that they beat the Rams. And the Eagles were struggling to get past the Washington Redskins. And for Jason Garrett, he has to have his team ready to play this game. He has to win this football game. For Kellen Moore, I'm not sure if the game plan is ever going to be more simple. Run the football, right? Run the football to win 20, 25 times for Zeke. I would even mix in Tony Pollard as well, another 10 to 15 times because, again, the game plan has always been the same, and I've been saying this for a long time. Run the football first and allow everything else to funnel through that, right, for Dak Prescott. And so Dak Prescott also cannot allow this shoulder injury to be the reason why the Cowboys lose the football game, right? Because this is why they call players franchise quarterbacks, because the job description is you have to be able to fight through some injuries sometimes. You have to be able to will your team to victory in spite of injuries or in spite of whatever other situations may be going on with this football team right now. But for the Dallas Cowboys, if they can go on the road in Philly and run the football well, they'll come out victorious.
Now, Skip Bayless. My Skip, I love Skip. Man, Skip Bayless. Man, look here. The man that you see before you to get the debate every day, 240 days a year, because the man sitting across from me. And I listen to him. I listen to everything that he says. Now, Skip Bayless, I heard him say, why would you ever say this and put the seeds of doubt in your team's mind that your quarterback may or may not play, that your quarterback is or isn't hurt? Why would he do that?
I don't know why you would do that.
You said that on, not this. You didn't say that today, but you said that on occasion. Like, why would you even put that out there? That's what you like to say. Why would you even put that out there?
It'd be hard to hide.
Can I respond to this?
You sure you can.
Really? He couldn't practice for the first time in his 4 years. He was throwing left-handed passes. You can't hide that from the media. You have to acknowledge. You have to say, we don't even know if he can play or
How about
not.
this, Reggie?
But would you go to the extent of saying that
my shoulder,
his shoulder, and
yes,
this is the work?
You have no choice.
Yes, you do.
No,
if you're not Reggie, every time you met out at practice,
full disclosure.
Belichick definitely wouldn't
he
give
might
you
not.
full disclosure.
No,
but he runs the evil empire.
Reporters don't miss anything there.
But he don't know what's going on with the camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, Skip, look, everyone, Reggie, you know you play this game long enough. If I'm an owner, if I ain't got no players banged up, I want to know why.
Yeah.
Here we go. We 16 weeks into the regular season, plus another month in the preseason, and ain't nobody banged up. Ain't nobody got no ice on nothing in the morning. I need to know why. Because I'm paying somebody a whole bunch of money for nothing. So, Dak, you're no different than anybody else. There are a lot of quarterbacks that got bumps and bruises that's not practicing. Tom Brady wasn't practicing. Coach Belichick said that's not the way we like to do it, but sometimes at this point in time, that's the best way to do it. So he's not the only one. Don't make it seem like Dak is unique in this situation. Dak is the only NFL quarterback that didn't practice on Wednesday. Stop that. Because I'm not going to allow you to do it, Skip Bayless.
You should allow it because he's never, ever not practiced. Not one time has he even been listed once as limited.
The first 2 years, he couldn't get hurt. Because how you going to hurt yourself unless you stumble handing the ball off to Zeke?
Really?
That's the only way you could hurt, because Zeke was just...
Wait. He was the offensive rookie of the year his rookie year and made the Pro Bowl handing off. I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Did you see Zeke?
That was a record.
Zeke had 1,600 yards. They missed the last game of the season.
Wow.
No, I don't know why, but Skip, the pressure is on the Cowboys. Reggie said it. They have the better team. Vegas said it because they installed them as road favorites. So everybody says that the Cowboys are the better team. The pressure is on them. Yeah. Walking to him says, you know what, I got something. I got this ambush waiting for you.
You mean the human slot machine?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Walking to him.
Yeah.
What about your guy shoulder?
Him.
Fletcher Cox. He told you his shoulder hurt. Graham, Barnett, Curry. Get out there.
So, Shannon Sharpe, I congratulate you because you got your Dak Prescott voodoo doll up there in your mansion in Bel Air, and you've been sticking pins, and you stuck one in the shoulder. No. How many quarterbacks miss games with a sprained AC joint in their right throwing shoulder? How many?
Lots. No, they put what they do. They put that medicine in there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, tore it all.
They put that medicine there. Mark Haynes, I don't know nothing about that, Jay, but I'm just saying, no. But I never threw a football.
Yeah.
Not only does my quarterback have a sprained right shoulder, he's got a fractured index finger on his throwing hand. He's got a sprained left wrist, which they did put on the injury report last week. So you've been sticking pins all over poor number 4 up in your mansion.
So in other words, you're saying because the index finger is fractured, he's gonna pull a Ronnie Lott. He gonna cut the tip of the index finger off and start playing. Is that what you wanted to do, Skip? Can y'all try to? Because you notice now, the more yeast you add to something, the bigger it'll grow.
I love how you're gloating and front-running today. You think you got me, and you just might.
What?
If he can't play, if it's Cooper Rush at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm done.
They should still win the game even with Cooper Rush. Even with the backup quarterback.
Central Michigan, undrafted.
Really?
He's thrown a grand total of 3 passes in an NFL career, 1 completion for 2 yards. Way to go, Jerry Jones.
He might be the next Kurt Warner in waiting. Kurt Warner was undrafted.
If it's Cooper, turn around and hand the football off to Zeke.
Okay.
That's how you win the game.
Where is Colin Kaepernick Kaepernick when I need him. Could we maybe sign him on the fly, Jerry? Probably not. Probably not. Jerry would be probably the last owner who would sign.
Jerry would sign me, you, or Reggie for a quarterback before he signed Kaepernick.
I'm available, Jeez.
Jenny too.
We need a running back, Jenny.
So maybe the game plan will be hand it to Zeke 30 times, hand it to Tony Pollard 15 times for 45 rushes, and then Dak can throw left-handed 2-yard passes to Jason Witten on maybe second down when it's like 2nd and 4. You can throw it 2 yards left-handed to Jason Witten. I like that. That's a good plan.
If he doesn't have a torn labrum, if it's just the AC joint, they will put that medicine in there. He will feel good.
Yeah.
He will be able to throw the football. Trust me, I've had it.
Well, he finished the second half, right? And so the injury supposedly happened in the first half.
Okay, but we don't know that for sure. That's what people are presuming, that we should see that play. You're presuming it happened on his first carry of the game. It's the first play of the 90-yard drive for the 7-0 touchdown, if we could see that right now. And it's the only zone read keeper.
I believe it's this play here.
Yeah, and Clay Matthews tracked him
down. And that looked like where it happened when you land on that shoulder like that.
Okay. I hope you're right about this, except he continued to run the football throughout the game. The play that scares me the most happened with 7.5 minutes left in the game when they're up 34-7, and he missed the mesh point on a zone read with Tony Pollard. If we could see the final play where he left the ball on the ground and he dives for it and he meets Clay Matthews head on going for the football. And you both know this is not good. That's scary. That's where you take a big shot on your shoulder, and that's where you get sprained. And I'm hoping that you guys are right that it happened early, because if it happened early, I'm okay, because he played through the whole game. If it happened on that play, I'm not okay, because that could be bad.
Well, you're lucky you also you break a finger diving in there for the ball, because everybody's diving in there. You hit somebody's helmet, and
okay, so why would you dive after football at 34-7? Well, you said earlier, it's just your DNA. It's just who you are. And you feel like that was my fault. Maybe I pulled it too quick or whatever. I didn't give it up enough. And so you think, I got to rectify this I got to just dive on the loose football. But wait, it's 34-7, and you got the game of the year 7 days later in Philadelphia.
Well, you don't got time to think about that.
Okay, I got it.
You got to go down and get the football.
But you know what Dak's thinking? Because Dak's saying, I'm the leader of this football team. Now, how's that going to look? The guy's going to watch this tape.
They will.
They see a ball on the ground, and they see me standing around talking about, well, I don't want to get hurt.
Okay, so
we've seen some other quarterbacks not dive.
Oh, absolutely.
So yesterday, the whole team had to watch you throw left-handed passes during practice. Okay? Good. Way to go.
You
got me. I give up.
I'm not going to let you do this, because I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do anything.
You try to flip-flap. You try to set us up for the okey-doke. You're the better team. Look, okay, he got Amari. He got Gallup. He got Randall Cobb. We got Greg Ward, Fago Whiteside, maybe Aguilar, who's a Cowboy in Eagles uniform.
Zach Ertz is as good as any tight end, including Kittle, including Kelsey.
Sure.
You could listen. Zach Ertz is really, and you want to talk about a wavelength with the quarterback? This quarterback looks for 86. I'm in trouble. I got to throw it to 86.
That's all he got to throw it to right now.
Well, and Dallas Goedert is pretty good.
And Dallas Goedert as well. But this is why you're paying that offensive line and for the Cowboys all this money. For these kinds of situations. At the end of the season,
and the Pro Bowl,
you need to be able to win games on the road, in the cold, right? In adverse situations.
It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be like 45 degrees. Look at that.
Football weather. You good then.
I mean, I couldn't even left up to me, I'd have wanted like 20.
All I know is Ezekiel Elliott better live up to $55 million guarantee and another Pro Bowl and a berth on the all-decade team. You better live up.
Here we go. It all one game.
Okay. This is it.
This is it.
Better show me.
Just the fact that he's played all 62 of his games, though, Dak. I mean, his toughness is never questioned.
Nope.
We'll have to see.
Oh, man. I mean,
never. It isn't.
How many did Brett Favre play consecutive?
That's crazy.
What about Phillip Rivers? Eli, Peyton?
I'm sure you know. According to reports, guys, 3 Oklahoma players, including starting defensive lineman and top pass rusher Ronnie Perkins, will be suspended for the college football playoff semifinal game against the #1 ranked LSU Tigers. It's being reported that the 3 players failed drug tests, but Lincoln Riley would not confirm or deny the report. Reggie Bush still with us, but Skip, I've got to start with you.
Yes.
Look, diehard Sooners fan. We know that around here. How does this impact Oklahoma's chances?
Kills them. I had a rough day yesterday. End of our show, I went elation, deflation, because I'm thinking, my Cowboys got this, too. My quarterback's got a bum throwing shoulder. And then a few hours later, go from My Sooners are in the playoffs, and they got a shot against Joe Burrow and LSU. And I lost the 2 key pieces that could have helped us pull off that upset. I lost our best pass rusher, and he is a bad boy. He is really starting to fly off that edge. Ronnie Perkins out of St. Louis, recruited heavily by LSU and chose Oklahoma. He's going to play on Sunday. He's going to play in the National Football League, and he is starting to just create havoc for passers, pocket passers like Joe Burrow. And I assume they're going to appeal it, but he's gone. And then Ramondre Stevenson, people don't know who he is, but I watch him every snap. He's
good.
He is the closer. Yeah. He is the closer for this football team. He goes about 240. He went the JUCO route to Cerritos College here in Southern California, and then to Oklahoma. He was the top JUCO recruit in the country last year. And they used Kennedy Brooks as their sort of workhorse first to third quarterback. And then all of a sudden, when the defense is getting a little tired, here comes Ramondre. He was averaging 8 yards a carry and 9 yards a catch, and he can really catch it. Yeah. And he can pile drive, and he can get loose. He's for 240, he can move. He's going to also play somewhere on Sunday for somebody in the National Football League. And you took my closer away and my pass rusher away, and I was so happy when my Sooners survived Baylor for a second time in the conference championship in overtime, and I was ecstatic when LSU vaulted to 1 because I don't think my team could deal with Clemson. I don't think my team could deal with the Ohio State. But LSU maybe made to order because my team can play keep away. What is LSU's glitch? What is its maybe fatal flaw? Its defense every once in a while just collapses. Yeah. We saw them against Texas. Texas just went up and down the field against them. We saw them against Ole Miss. Ole Miss just went up and down the field against LSU. Now they clamped down on Georgia and they look like world beaters against Georgia on defense. But it's possible my offense can sledgehammer run the football so powerfully that with Jalen and Kennedy Brooks and then Ramondre, you could, what did they do against Baylor in the 31-10 comeback when they were down 31-10 at halftime? They just kept the ball the whole second half, running it down Baylor's throat. And they came all the way back to 34-31. What could they do to LSU? They could play keep away and keep the Heisman winner on the sideline for much of the game.
What also would help them is that Baylor turned the ball over a couple of times in the second half and gave them
which
the ball.
They never do, but it happened just late.
And considering that the Oklahoma Sooners only had 11 turnovers in 13 games. That's the 5th fewest in the nation. The loss of these 3 players, it just increases the margin of loss you're going to lose by in the beginning.
Well, the point spread just went from it opened at 12, now it's up to 14.
I told you, they just put so much pressure on you offensively. They emptied basically their empty back, a one back or empty backfield set, and Joe Burrows is throwing to those 3 wide receivers who's going to be playing on Sunday. And he's had Skip, I mean, he's so accurate. I mean, he's completed
unbelievable.
78. I mean, he's like a Drew Brees. I mean, he looks like Macaulay Culkin, like Home Alone. He's like a big Macaulay Culkin.
He does. I forgot about that.
But Skip, when you think about what they did to Georgia, Georgia led the nation in scoring defense, giving up 10 points a game. They hung 37 on Georgia like it was nothing.
What did they do to your Crimson Tide?
They hung 48 on them and Alabama. Now, everybody got that Alabama. You see, we got 45 on them. This is not about Alabama. Why you keep...
To my point.
First of all...
You can move the ball on LSU.
Y'all don't got what Alabama got offensively. Y'all ain't got no Tua. And y'all ain't got 3 receivers that's going in the first round.
We got one that's going to go above all your 3.
He's not going before Jared Judy.
He will go before Jared Judy. Who was the first team All-American? Who was the first team All-American? My guy, CeeDee Lamb was.
So good.
Not any of your 3.
Jamar Chase was the bullet.
He's really good.
But Jared Judy will be the first receiver.
You know what? I'll bet when all's said and done, I'll bet CeeDee Lamb will go above
Jared
him.
Judy. Jared Judy's
too big and strong.
I love CeeDee Lamb and his speed.
Yeah, because they both bring something different to the table.
They bring something different.
The thing that you know about Alabama receivers is they can run routes. Yeah. You look at that. You look at Ridley. You look at Amari. Julio, for as big as he is, and Judy can outrun routes better than all of them.
He's smallish.
He is. But Skip, he's electric.
I know. I got
But the thing is, Skip, y'all guys don't create turnovers. Y'all don't take the ball away.
Our defense is still not very good.
But that's the thing. The Oklahoma's not a defensive team. They're an offensive team.
They are.
Their best player on defense is Kenneth Murray, who's a beast at linebacker and who will be playing on Sundays. But to your point, Oklahoma, the game plan has to be to play keep away. It has to be to run the football well on offense, which they do well through Jalen Hurts, through Kennedy Brooks, who's going to be the starter regardless of what Stevenson was doing.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I love watching Stevenson. I think he brings a different dynamic to this team, and he could have really had an impact on this game. But I don't think it limits them in what they do because it's CeeDee Lamb, it's Jalen Hurts, and it's Kennedy Brooks. That's where the offense and then where the game plan is going to be won. If they do those things well, they'll be able to play keep away from Joe Burrow.
And I'll hate to break the news to you, but in the last 4 games, you got Jalen Hurts, got 7 turnovers. He's turned into a turnover machine. Now, you turn the ball, give LSU extra possession. Ask Alabama what happens if you give them extra possession. Ask Georgia what happens if you give them extra possession. Because they can get to 50 in a hurry.
Joe Burrow is going to put up points regardless in this football game. Regardless, they're going to put up points.
Depends on how many.
Exactly.
Oh, he'll get it. They're getting to 40 easy.
40?
40 easy.
Okay, I got a case on that right now. Okay?
40.
I need Ramondre, though.
You do realize this game is in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
It's a beach bowl.
Okay.
LSU's backyard.
Georgia's, LSU's back.
I mean,
they're going
to travel well. They
didn't have a whole lot of people because Georgia, when for the SEC championship, obviously that's an hour away from the University of Georgia. They were saving for this one because they knew they were going to be here. This is the game they knew they were going to be here. Watch the LSU.
You know what? You
Lego
were
Tiger.
so lucky. Last year I didn't have Hollywood Brown, who would have changed that game against Bama. And now I don't have the 2 key pieces to keep.
You could have had Hollywood Brown, Santa Monica Brown. You could have had anybody other Brown you wanted. It wasn't going to do nothing with it.
Have you noticed what Hollywood's doing for Lamar?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we took it easy on y'all.
Rooting for that kid.
Took it easy. Skip, it was 28-0. It was 28-0 at the blink of an eye.
And here came Kyler.
We let him do a little something. We let him do a little something.
A lot of something.
Let him do a little something. But then, then Tutu's say, hey, go to sleep.
All I know is Jalen Hurts finished second in the Heisman. That's pretty good. I'll bet Bama missed him this year.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
All two of them.
Number 1 versus number 2.
All Tua had was 33-3. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah. All he is injury prone. That's all I know.
What else? Okay, Skip. I mean, dang. So what?
Jalen's like Dak. He's a warrior.
He need to drink some more milk. He need to drink some more milk. He can drink a couple of more gallons of milk. He gonna be all right. Get them bones up.
Like Dak. All right, Reggie. Always great to have you. Appreciate your insight.
No mercy.
Julian Edelman was limited for the second practice in a row this week. It's being reported that he is dealing with a tendon injury in his knee. Based on practice footage from yesterday, some are saying that Edelman did not look good physically and that his injuries are beginning to show. So, Fox Sports contributor Rob Parker joining us now. Rob.
Buckle up for about 20 straight minutes of straight hate on the Patriots and the Cowboys. Way to go.
Buckle up, everyone.
Should I leave now? Is that it?
I think I just summed it up.
Please say, Rob, how much trouble are the Patriots in?
Hear me out,
Skip. Patriots are in big trouble. You already know.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, these are not your father's Buffalo Bills. Let's just be honest. They have played well. They got 10 wins. 6-1 on the road this year, right? Even when they played the Patriots early this year, was it 16-10? It was a close game. They do really well. 3rd best against the pass, and they held Brady to 150 yards. And now Brady's not that healthy. He's struggling. Edelman's not healthy. I mean, a lot of things are going on. I know they blew out the Bengals, but I don't really count that. I think this is going to be a tough game on a Saturday, a big game for Buffalo. And this is what I was telling you before the season started. I might have been wrong about your Cowboys, and we'll get into that. But when I said to you when I made that bet that the Patriots wouldn't make it to the AFC Championship game, here's that game that could change everything.
This is huge.
Am I right?
For that.
Because if they lose this game and somehow Buffalo wins the division, Patriots are going on the road and the chances as a wild card and the shape that they're in. So this is a big game. And I love what the Bills have done. This is just a different team, and nobody wants to believe in it. But if you look at their resume, it's been good all year.
It's very good. Skip, this would be a huge loss because he's Brady's most reliable, most dependable, who Brady trusts the most in dire situations because he doesn't have a Gronk now to split some of that workload with him. Skip, here's the thing. But also, if you look at it, their defense, the Patriots' defense, still can create turnovers, can still get scooping scores, pick sixes, and give Brady a short field. Because now without Edelman, you greatly decrease your chances of driving the distance because he's your chain mover. He's the guy that's on 3rd and 3 that Brady's going to look for. He's the guy that Brady says, you know what? I know there's 2 guys on him, but he's going to fight tooth and nails. He's going to come down with this ball. So if you remove him from that, so now it's basically Edelman and James White. You remove Edelman. How many swing passes, Skip, and screens are you going to be able to throw to James White? 20? Because I don't, like I said, we haven't seen in the Coach Belichick and Brady era, we haven't seen a rookie contribute heavily other than Gronk. And I don't care how good N'Keal Harry you think he's going to be, he ain't Gronk.
Nope.
That's a generational player. That's a once-in-a-lifetime type player. So, and the thing is, Skip, the Patriots got to be very careful. Because you're talking about you might have to face a Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional. Now, Kansas City has a lot of confidence because they went there and beat them a couple of weeks earlier. And then you saw what Kansas City did. Now, the Broncos might not, but their defense is very good. They still have a top-flight defense that's good in pass coverage, and they can get after the quarterback, too. And my homeboy, in driving snow in frigid temperatures, threw a party. So they feel very comfortable that if they have to face the Patriots again, they like their chances.
I would agree.
So they have Edelman is key for them. I don't know how far. I don't know if they can go very far, Skip, if they don't have Edelman. At least he needs to be somewhat healthy too. He can't be banged up like he is now because this guy right now, Skip, he's out there drawing double teams, but he's not a guy that they can get anything out of. 2 catches.
2 catches for 9 yards.
Yeah, no.
He can't move. He can't run. He's beat all to hell. And he's a high-contact player who's aging right before your very eyes. Tom Brady's beat all to hell.
Yep.
He took severe punishment. The worst beating he took all year was at Cincinnati, one of your old stops.
That's right.
And I'm with you about Buffalo. I am highly impressed, and I don't think they're under the radar. I think they're on the radar. I think people have noticed. Sean McDermott has it going. He's created a whole new culture. That team has a backbone to it. I will also remind you that you, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, said that they might as well have an amoeba playing at quarterback. That's how little you respected Josh Allen at that point. He got better. He took my team apart on Thanksgiving Day at Jerry World. Not that easy to do, but he did it. And so I honor all of the above. So now the table has turned in New England. Now it's up completely to Belichick's defense. The Super Bowl 2 years ago, we all went back and forth about it. Brady threw for 505, put up 33 points, and Belichick's defense allowed 41. And why Malcolm Butler was benched for the game, I don't know. But all of a sudden, the script has flipped completely around to, okay, Bill, it's your turn. You have to do this. I'm going to hang in. My gut feeling is that New England's going to figure out a way to win this game just because it's at home with so much on the table.
It is.
This is it, man, and they know it because they got the Dolphins to finish, and I think they can beat the Dolphins.
Right. But Skip, you must admit they haven't beaten any of the good teams.
No,
the Patriots,
I got
against
all 3 of them.
All 3 games against good teams, they've lost this year, and Buffalo is one of those good teams, no matter what we think about them.
Remember how Josh Allen got hurt? He was running. Took a shot to the head.
Yeah.
And then they brought the backup in, and then whew.
Okay. So, and you said they're like lower than amoebas, the 2 of them, right?
Lower.
Okay.
Wow.
It was, they
were bad. He was bad.
They were bad. So, I'm going to say it one more time. Julian Edelman is useless at this point. It's about that kid, N'Keal Harry. And again, to your point, can a rookie save the Patriot offense? Because they don't do rookies.
They don't.
So what happened against Kansas City just 2 games ago? He played 2 snaps. And all of a sudden, boom, last Sunday at Cincinnati, he played 38 snaps because he's all they got. Yeah. And he's something now.
Right.
He's 6'4", 225, and he can move.
Right.
But he is a raw rookie who missed the first half of the year because he was on IR with a foot injury.
Which is valuable time that he could have got in practice with Tom Brady.
Okay.
So now he can't do anything. Yeah, Skip, I think people are like, well, he's studying. There's nothing gets you ready to play football like practicing football. Not studying, practicing football, being where you can actually talk to Tom. You run the route, and Tom says, no, you're too deep. No, you're too shallow. You got more time. Perfect. That's what he needs to hear. That's what Tom needs to know. Okay, he's getting it. You know, what Tom wants, okay, I think he wants to be like this here. No, you need to hear affirmation. You need to hear Tom Brady tell you.
Totally agree.
This is what he needs.
Totally agree. And don't tell me that the Patriots rediscovered their run game. Cincinnati's 29th against the run.
They're the worst.
Okay? They're the worst. And they got Sony going a little bit, and they got Rex Burkhead going some at the end of the game. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
That offensive line is not good.
No.
It can't protect and it can't run the football.
Buffalo's D-line is better than you think.
Oh, they're really good.
But Skip is...
Hughes and Lawson, and they got, I think, a 97, I forget his name.
Yep.
But they did a number on Pittsburgh.
They did.
They did a number on Pittsburgh.
Would you say this is the Patriots season, to be honest?
It is.
This game...
Make or break.
Is make or break.
Yeah,
a loss of this game.
The offense is so pathetic right now with no weapons, no blocking. I don't see a way out on offense. But if they could manage to survive Buffalo and then beat Miami, I would still give them a shot to try to figure it out.
Is that game in Miami or home? Home, okay.
It's in,
because I know they struggled down there. That's what I
Skip, but you know what? This is the first time all the AFC teams that's going to make the playoffs see the Patriots are vulnerable. This is as vulnerable as they've ever been.
Yeah.
Every team that's in the AFC feels like we can beat. We don't care. If we got to go there, so be it.
And this is not last year where people try to say, well, they struggled and then
No.
They're not nearly as good as they were a year ago. Would you admit that at the end of the season?
Not nearly as good because I don't completely trust Belichick's defense because Joe Mixon ran wild on them at Cincinnati.
But that's kind of been a problem since the Cleveland game.
Okay.
And we kind of chalked that up. They were so far ahead. They were playing off, yada, yada, yada. But then we saw what the Ravens did. And the Texans had some success running. And we saw last week Joe Mixon had success running the football. But this team, Skip, they're vulnerable. This is as vulnerable as they've ever been. Mm-hmm. We've not seen a Patriots team offensively struggle like this. And last year what they had that they don't have now, they had Gronk. Because when the rubber needed to meet the road, they needed a big-time play.
They did.
87 was coming down with the ball.
Yet the odds makers still have New England by 6.5 in this game. And you know what? I'm with both of you. I think I would take.
I'm taking my Fox bet money. I'm laying my Fox bet money down on somebody other than the Patriots.
Yeah.
I just think that's out of respect, and it's the Buffalo thing. They just
playoff time. My Fox bet money going against the Pats. Now when I come in here bling blinging,
I'll know.
I come in here bling blinging with like 100 bands on my wrist.
Really?
You know why? He must be better against. Yeah, he better against the Patriots.
Bet like that.
So you're going to win $250,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money? Is that?
I don't know if it's going to be Brad, it's going to be somebody, but I don't know who pockets he's coming out of.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott was limited in practice yesterday due to a right shoulder injury he suffered in the first half of the Rams game. In that game, Dak was also dealing with a finger injury that had conflicting reports on its severity. With the shoulder news, the Cowboys have become slightly less favored, but what's more worrisome for the league's second leading passer is that Jason Garrett said it's hard for Dak to function in practice, and Ezekiel Elliott said he couldn't imagine throwing with that shoulder injury. Rob Parker is still with us. So, Rob, are the Cowboys or Eagles winning on Sunday?
I picked the Eagles before the season started, and I'm sticking with them. And I know people are making a big deal that, they've struggled the last couple of weeks against bad teams. Shannon, sports has a short menu. Yeah. Wins and losses. All that other stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and
Shannon's restaurant's all losses.
Is that all losses?
Really?
I got a pop-up shop in Philly right now.
Really?
Yeah, Dak will be there Sunday. Dak will be there on Sunday.
And once in a lifetime has been playing big late in games. Okay? I don't care who you're playing. 2 weeks ago, he had a touchdown with 32 seconds to go. Yeah. And then he also had last week a touchdown with 2 minutes to go and in overtime. Or was that 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, and then Washington was 32 seconds. Sorry. And so also since week 13, he has he leads the league in red zone touchdowns as well with 8. So he's been playing better, and he doesn't have the receivers. And they're banged up as well. The game is in Philly. Obviously, Dallas beat them up big time when they were in Dallas. This is a game that they can write their season and they can win. And now Dak is hurt.
They playing that. There ain't nobody buying that.
He's not hurt?
No, he's legitimately hurt.
No, he ain't.
They just, what is that? Is this a possum? Is that what you?
No, he thinks it's exaggerated or fabricated.
Okay.
No, but you adding yeast to it. I mean, it's supposed to be a muffin, and you turn it into a 6-layer cake.
He did not practice for the first time in his career.
Oh my God.
And here's the other thing too. I don't know if you're telling me that they're going to just run the football 50 times, and the Eagles know that that's the game plan and they're not throwing. They got to have better success to stop the run when you know exactly what's coming.
Right,
so I'm not buying that as
that gonna come out there and throw the ball 35, 40 times. You know,
I think the Eagles win and win the division. They win this game and win the division.
Look, this game is prime for the Cowboys. Everybody says the Cowboys are the better team. Vegas, now last I checked, they putting up another building.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're not putting those buildings up with winners' money. They're putting those buildings up with losers who keep betting.
Well, there were a bunch of losers last week who bet against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, Eric Dickinson, your team, ambassador. You be
He'll be here tomorrow.
I know.
Oh, wait, at least Shannon, you gonna let him have it tomorrow?
Yeah,
show up.
Yeah, he caused me a couple of cases betting on him.
Yeah.
But look, everything is really set up for the Cowboys. They played their best game of the year against a winning team. And the formula that I've been suggesting that they use all the time, Zeke, running game, play through that. Dak doesn't have to throw the ball 40-plus times. And look, 250 rushing the ball, Skip. Dak didn't throw the ball a lot, but he was extremely efficient. You can live with that. So, and you know, I mean, you're struggling with Washington, you're struggling with the Giants.
But is that a good gauge? The Rams didn't show up for that game. That's my only issue. They never showed up for that game from the very beginning. I think they scored the first touchdown, and they were gone.
Well, they showed up at Arizona and then against Seattle, didn't they?
Well, they showed up and the Cowboys slapped them and they said, okay, we don't want to fly. We don't want to fly.
That was it.
But don't worry about it, Skip. I know you all excited to talk about my quarterback because what he's trying to do, he's trying to make it like one of these hero movies.
Right.
Yeah, how the hero rides in on the white horse and saves the day. Oh, Dak, he was social. He didn't practice all week, Jenny. You remember, Jenny? You read it on Wednesday. And Jason Garrett said, I don't know how he functions. I mean, they're thinking about having to amputate their arms.
They didn't
Stop
say
it,
that.
Skip. Stop it. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you add any more yeast to this story.
Does he have a fractured index finger? Yes.
I'm not going to let you and Zeke Elliott add any more yeast to the story so Dak's legacy, his legend can grow. I'm going to shut it down right here.
How was his legend going to grow when he couldn't even make the Pro Bowl after, the first 3 games?
Oh, you
It was the all-time robbery.
No, it wasn't. Those numbers were fraudulent, and he won the first 3 games. He piled up against bad teams. Dak, finally, there was justice in the Pro Bowl.
What
he
is
didn't deserve
completely
it.
fraudulent is that Aaron Rodgers made the Pro Bowl.
They got 11 wins.
All-time fraudulent.
They got 11 wins.
Yeah, no thanks to him. If you'd put Aaron Jones in the Pro Bowl, I'd get
stop
that.
it.
Yeah. So, I'm going to say this one more time. I love my football team. What my football team did to the Rams is what they should have been doing all year long. It's why I told you before the year I believe they're going to win the NFC. And I still give them a very good chance, but now they have to go win at Philly first to just get in the tournament. If they get in the tournament, Troy Aikman is dead solid right.
No,
nobody's going to want to face them in the tournament. Bring them on. I don't care. Bring on the 49ers. Let us go to New Orleans, whatever.
Seattle, everybody wants it.
Name it.
Everybody wants it.
How about if Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay have to play
do it.
Dallas?
Let's do it
He
again.
has keys to Jerry's world.
Well, I hope it's at Lambeau. We'll go right up to Lambeau, and we'll just own that frozen tunnel.
You remember what happened last time you went to Lambeau and played a playoff game? You remember? The Ice Bowl. You remember that, Skip? It didn't go out too well for you.
I remember it. Well, it was in 1967.
But you remember it.
Yeah, I do remember
Skip
it.
covered that game.
I did not. I watched that game, unfortunately, and it was another robbery.
No, it wasn't. You know what? Stop. Every time the Cowboys lose to the Packers, it's not a robbery.
Well, did they not lose because of the Des Bryant he caught it game? He definitely
I forgot that. Y'all
there
lost.
You go. That's
y'all keep losing it. You sure you want to go back to Lambeau and play a playoff game?
My point is, if Dr. Voodoo across from me has not executed his voodoo magic on his voodoo doll of Dak Prescott, if Dak can at least walk onto the field, if he is capable of at least starting the game as starting quarterback, my team will win this football game because I've told you from the start, they're just better than Philadelphia. You know in your heart of hearts, they're just better.
You are now because we're injured.
Oh, well, so are we. We're decimated.
Not as bad as the Eagles. The Eagles have been decimated all year. They've struggled. They have to fight their way back. That's the only thing I love about them. Shannon, when they were down 17-3 to Manning and the Giants, they could have rolled over. It was ugly. It was
like
bad.
you guys do. You get down 2 scores, 3 scores, you roll over. And then Dak throw for a bunch of yards and you lose, and you feeling good about yourself. But that ain't what walking to him does.
So Philly's like the Miracle on Ice team. Maybe they should play this game at Lake Placid, right? Because it's going to be a miracle.
Yeah, it is.
Never know.
Carson Wentz is going to bring them back from the dead.
Skip, you know good well the Eagles shouldn't win this game based on what they have offensively and the way their defense has played the entire season.
They have simply the best tandem tight ends in the league.
Oh, my
There's
goodness.
nobody better than Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. And Carson Wentz has completed more balls to his tight end than any other quarterback has completed to his tight end.
True.
He doesn't have any receivers.
Okay.
Right.
So you got to stop them. My linebacker core, who will be covering those guys, is decimated. I'm down 2 starters. They had to sign Malcolm Smith off his couch. Formerly a Super Bowl MVP, but hasn't been playing all year because nobody wanted him. So that's what I'm down to. Maybe he'll start the game for Chris Richard.
So you picking the Eagles?
No. But I need to know if my quarterback's going to play.
Your quarterback's playing. Stop saying that.
If Cooper Rush has to start the game, I got no shot. Because he'd have to hand off 65 times.
No, hold on. No, you hold on. So in other words, you're basically trying to say your team is Dak and that's it. That's all you got is Dak.
He is my MVP and has been from the start. They go as he goes.
Okay, he might be the MVP.
And all the key plays that happened Sunday against the Rams came out of his hand thrown. That's what happened early in that game.
What about those 243 yards rushing?
Well, what about 3rd and 9 early to Amari for 19 yards? What about 3rd and 10 in the red zone to Jason Witten for a touchdown? What about 49 yards to Tavon Austin for the 14-7
The man
touchdown?
collided together, Skip. Come on, you make it seem like he threw a pinpoint pass.
Did you see him avoid Dante Fowler Jr.? Did you see? It was really great. That my quarterback has greatness written all over him.
How come he didn't make the Pro Bowl?
That's a great question.
I'm asking you since he's so great.
Yeah.
It was a robbery.
It was not. Stop saying that.
No, it's just that they realized that none of his numbers were fraudulent. And
My quarterback is the most
he didn't beat anybody,
disrespected
Shannon.
quarterback in the history
No, it's
of football.
not.
And Skip, everybody else beat somebody good. Your guy ain't beat anybody
He
good.
didn't beat anybody.
Beat the Rams.
Okay, it was too late. They had already cast their vote.
Maybe.
They had already cast their vote Friday.
Boy, if they'd seen that game, they would have said, that guy's a Pro Bowl.
No, but they seen the game against Buffalo. And they seen him against the Jets. And they saw him against the Saints. Yeah, they saw those.
Who threw the most catchable passes in the whole NFL this year? Dak Prescott.
Got more interceptions than Trubisky.
Well,
We'll put Trubisky in the Pro Bowl because Trubisky beat him.
How about the Saints? Dak Prescott lost the game where the Saints didn't even score a touchdown. Remember that game?
Yeah.
The Saints didn't even score a touchdown, an offensive touchdown in that game.
Saints are really good on defense. You see them the other night?
Yeah, I saw Drew Brees, and Teddy Bridgewater beat you. Can you imagine what Drew Brees, if he gets you in that building, what he gonna do?
How did Drew Brees make the Pro Bowl when he missed 5 games that Teddy Bridgewater won?
Because the players look at that and say, Drew Brees is better than donkey to him Dak.
Really? Well, if my quarterback can walk on Sunday, we're going to win this game.
Well, this is interesting for you, Skip. Jerry Jones just said on his radio interview he expects Dak will be in top form on Sunday. I figured you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
We need him to be in top form.
I'm good.
I expect
Thank
him
you,
to
Rob.
be in top form
Appreciate
on
that
Sunday.
very much.
So that's always a good
Good
sign.
luck today.
So maybe you should stick around. I don't know. This is good. When you're here, good things happen. That is the latest from Jerry. I love when he gets talking on the radio. Rob, appreciate you being here. Always.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
No mercy.
Raiders running back and the NFL's 6th leading rusher, Josh Jacobs, received 15 of 24 Offensive Rookie of the Year votes from an NFL.com survey of executives. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray came in a distant second place with only 6 votes. So, Skip,
yes.
Do you agree with this poll?
I absolutely do not. And I am at a loss to explain what has happened to Kyler Murray. I am dumbfounded at how little love, how little respect, how little focus and attention he's getting for the year he's having, because in all these polls, he's not even an also-ran.
No.
Yeah.
Not even.
Nor
he doesn't
should he be.
even also receiving votes, Kyler Murray.
No.
What are you talking
He
about?
shouldn't.
His 4-9-1 record as a rookie starting quarterback is far more impressive than the Raiders' 6-8 with Josh Jacobs. And I love Josh Jacobs, and I told you that when they drafted him late in the first round. I said, good move, Raiders. Loved him at Bama. Loved what he did to my Sooners, being from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He took it out on them and got revenge on them because they didn't recruit him. But that's ancient history. Kyler Murray is happening right before your very eyes.
What?
We looked at the schedule before the year started, and you made the case to me, I don't think he can win a game. That's what you told me, because it looks like murderer's row. And it ain't over yet, because he's still got to go to Seattle and go to the Rams.
So he got as many wins as he going to have.
Okay, well, we'll see about that, because he keeps shocking the world, because they are 4-9-1.
And we'll finish the season 4-11-1.
They've won 4 games you didn't think they could win. They tied Detroit on opening Sunday.
Okay.
How did he do that?
Okay, if you don't mind me
27 all?
I'm not so sure the people, because they don't have the schedule in front of them. Can you tell the people who Kyler Murray beat and see if the fans see
Okay, thank you. I will do that. He went to Lamar's team, went to the Ravens.
No. Who they won?
I'm going to explain what just happened. They barely lost that game 23-17 to Lamar and company at Baltimore. Then he goes on a winning streak. He wins at Cincinnati. He beat the Falcons, who keep beating the Saints and the 49ers. That's a legitimate win. And then he went to the Giants. At Giants, he beat Danny Dimes. That's pretty great, actually, for a rookie quarterback. Then he played San Francisco to the wire twice, once on Thursday night. They were both close games that went to the wire. He went to Jameis, went to Tampa, and Jameis is lighting it up, throwing the football. They lost 30-27 at Tampa. And then they went to the Steelers and barely lost 23-17. And then what happened last Sunday? They routed the Cleveland Browns at home. It was 38-24. Kyler Murray is 14th in QBR. For a rookie quarterback, that's really good. He's 9th in catchable passes this year.
I thought you said with Dak finishing second was really good.
He's 4th right now.
No, I'm saying, but in his rookie year, he finished second, right?
Yeah, well, he finished 3rd, but he was first most of the year.
Oh, yeah.
But I also told you Dak Prescott had the greatest rookie year I've ever seen. Better than RG3's rookie year with the Redskins.
Skip. I keep saying he's 4-9-1. He beat the Giants. They have, 2-3 wins. He beat the Bengals. They have 1 win. The Falcons have 5-6 wins. The Browns
impressive.
have Browns have 4. So it's not like he's beating murderer's row. Skip, you look at Josh Jacobs. He has 1,150 yards, which is more than Dalvin Cook and Mark Ingram, who represents the Pro Bowl. They're 2 Pro Bowlers. And he's missed a game, been banged up in several other games. He's 4th in rush yards per game.
Now he's finished for the season.
Okay, so he right at this point in time, he's 4th in rush yards per game behind Chubb, Henry, and McCaffrey. Skip, he's been the best rookie he's been the best rookie. It's as simple as that.
No.
They don't base it on Skip, Kyler Murray plays quarterback in his more demanding position. No. He hasn't had a better season than Josh Jacobs.
Okay, who has the second most yards from scrimmage in the National Football League to Lamar? Kyler Murray. Second most total yards.
Skip.
That's extraordinary. Do you even hear anybody talk about this?
No.
What's happened?
Skip.
Did you start the Kyler hate club also? I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, I'm going to try and clarify it for you. He's compiling a lot of these numbers in losses, big losses, because the teams are way ahead and he comes back and he loses by 14, but he's compiled some yards at the end, which are meaningless.
His defense is awful. There was a reason they had the first pick in the draft. You realize that?
His offense isn't much better either.
He's got a rookie head coach who got fired at Texas Tech, and he's doing this?
Okay, so when did you realize that he had a poor offensive line, the defense wasn't very good, and his coach was a rookie? When did you realize that Kyler Murray was going to be doing that?
Knew it going in.
Okay, then, so I don't want to hear it.
4-9-1, and Shannon Sharpe told me there's no way they're going to win a game.
No, Skip.
This looked like this had 0-16 written all over it, and guess what?
Well, I'm hopeful right now Detroit doesn't lose that record, because right now they're the only 0-16 team.
We should ask Kyle Shanahan who he thinks is the rookie of the year, because he had
Jacobs.
He had all of Kyler that he wanted in those 2 games.
Played it, got that dub. All I know is Kyler had a spectacular. Remember, he had spectacular highlights against Alabama, and what happened? Caught that L. So Skip, out that flash, we don't do flash. At the end of the day, I just want to know the thing that I love most about Mariah, that Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston come out there with a stool, sit it down. Adele, those sit out there with a stool and start singing.
They don't need anything.
All the rest of the ones, they need 1,500 dancers. They need pyrotechnics. They need trapeze and the monkeys dancing.
And that has what to do with this?
You want fanfare. I want wins.
Okay.
You want fanfare. You want a guy that runs for 3,000 yards and pass for 7,000. I want wins.
Oakland is 6-8.
What's your record?
4-9.
Okay, then I want to hear
That's far more impressive than Oakland. Oh, so that cinches it.
Yep.
Oh, 6-8.
Yep.
That does it. Way to go, Whitney.
I did like the analogy of the stool, though.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You just need
Whitney, they come out there with a stool, sit down.
Okay, another show tonight.
Josh
you gotta
Jacobs
watch.
is Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I thought, I knew that all along.
Makes so much sense now. Harden and Westbrook lead the Rockets into LA to take on Kawhi, Paul George, and the Clippers tonight. This is already the third meeting between the two teams, with each team winning their respective home games. So, Skip, should this game be getting more attention?
Shannon, I hate to tell you this, but tonight, LeBron and AD are just the opening act for Whitney Houston versus Mariah Carey. Rockets at Clippers. Tune in for the second half of the show because it's the show. It's the Western Conference Finals preview.
Skip.
Rockets at Clippers. I predicted it before the season, and you can see the preview tonight, game number 2.
Skip, you can't get excited about this because it's Kawhi playing. People want to know.
No, he's definitely playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And plus, people don't want to watch. Look, with these basketball, the top guys have their shoes. I do not want a guy's shoe that I got to go to get a prescription to get.
For that, yeah.
I got to go get to the doctor, get a prescription to get these special order shoes.
All you got.
It's the truth. Am I lying?
That's a lame dodge.
Skip, they're not even advertising this game. Everybody's talking about what? What are they talking about? Giannis and the King.
I'm going to watch the game that's being played in Kawhi Town.
Okay.
Kawhi Town is my town.
I'll make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You're not going to watch the Lakers and Giannis.
I'll watch it.
I bet you will.
I'll get warmed up.
Stop it.
It'll just get my blood.
You can't get excited about the Clippers because you don't know if Kawhi's going to ever play.
That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.